How long is that going to take you to set up, though? Okay.
Here.
Right on. Go ahead and give yourself a point of inspiration. And we are going to pick up back in the nighttime. Zirak went up to his room where he began to discuss with his book as something began to appear in front of him. Layla is with Dala at the bathhouse in the Crystal Fair district, currently trying to wash all the mud that she kind of got herself into in the caves below while everybody else is seemingly resting in their bed. Thalion, you arrive back at the inn, mostly just Dory and Roger sort of cleaning up, as most of the people were excused upon your guys' arrival. Back in with the fallen form of Zirak, or the newly resurrected form of Zirak, I would say. Do you just head to bed? It's probably during the course of the day and everything that's happened. It's probably 10 o'clock at night right now. What book? Okay, so you're going to read that book again for the 20th time, probably. Okay. Layla, on your way back, fully clean, feeling fresh, relieved, relaxed. The night air is quite chill. There's still people about going back and forth from smaller restaurants and taverns as you and Dala kind of make your way back through the square, heading southeast back towards the Lamp Burrow. You cross the bridge into the burrow proper, and that's when you notice something. You see 4 men sort of waiting along the street, kind of leaning against buildings, arms crossed.
They look armed.
Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
You guys can't hear me right. Fine, right?
Yes.
I want.
Disadvantage.
Because
it is nighttime and there's very poor lighting.
Do not. Oh,
Okay.
Come on.
So with the 14, you do see that they are looking like they're bearing some weapons, but most of them are sort of shot at the hip. But with the 14, you do hear some footsteps that seem to be coming from the sides and the back, moving slowly. And then you begin to notice some more people. Almost like as if they're trying to encircle you.
Can I help you?
Yeah. You can stop sticking your nose where it don't belong. This is just a friendly visit. You could say we're just having a nice chat.
Where exactly does my nose not belong?
You know goddamn well, don't play coy with us. Ever since you and your friend showed up here, stirring up all sorts of trouble, this is the only warning you get.
And I will give you the only warning. Like me when I'm angry.
At your words and your threat, they begin to pull out what seem to be maces, as Dala begins to sort of hide behind your back. And they all take a threatening step forward.
How many are there?
At a quick glance, you could probably see 8.
Sorry. Okay. And there's like 4. Is there like what? 4 in front of me, 4 behind me. Are we like down an alleyway?
You're in like a main road going into, like, you have to pass through this road to get into the lamp burrow, and this is where
Okay.
they kind of met you.
Do we retrieve our clothes and equipment back from?
I would say so, yeah.
Oh yeah, I kind of pull out my 2 hand axes.
So you're going. Okay, let's roll initiative. You are just amazing.
There are no odds that a D&D player does not think they can overcome. Watch this, Chris. You could have said there's 25 guys surrounding him, and he would have said, "I pull out my 2 hand axes." There's 75 guys surround. I pull out my 2.
Oh shit!
This wasn't even supposed to be an encounter, but congratulations.
They threatened me, and I said, "Hey, you're gonna give me a warning. I'm gonna give you a warning."
All right. I hope this works out for you. You guys here on the map. That way everybody can see. Poor Dala.
She's gonna lose her life to Layla's bravery.
Trying to be like, I'm the Hulk of the group. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
That only works in the movies.
Chris,
What's great?
you realize that the whole army is after the Hulk, right?
The wise words of Tony Stark to Loki. I have an army. We have a Hulk.
You do realize that
He
the
lost that one though.
They are Loki. I am the Hulk.
you do know bad things happen when the Hulk comes out, right?
Yes, I know bad things happen.
Especially in a
City.
very, very populated city. Okay, give me a moment. I gotta number these guys. I think I've been numbering them all 1.
Yeah, they're all for some reason red 1. I don't know. Their maces are like what, Billy Club type deals,
Pretty much.
I like to point out that they drew weapons first.
When they kill you, they can make up whatever story they want.
Well, okay. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
Something's fucking up with my sheet.
Remember, you have to click on each. Did you click on each token separate?
No, I am, but for some reason the cog isn't popping up, so I can't. It's gonna roll. What the shit? It's gonna roll advantage on every attack, and I don't want that.
Huh.
Do you have it set to toggle?
No, I wasn't planning on using commoners to to fight Layla.
Another one appeared. Oh. I hear Carla's stress and frustration. Shit.
I know I should have just did this with Dalian.
You presented me with a big red button.
No, I presented you with a story option. Not
And they
murdering.
I'm not gonna murder.
Not wanting to murder all of them with your two hand axes and quite possibly set loose a werewolf. But yeah, let's.
I'm not gonna murder them.
Oh, I forgot. I got to bring up Dala.
Because I was gonna say
You dragged her into this. Your terrible girlfriend.
I did not do anything. I am defending myself and us. Oh, God damn it, Dala. This is all self-defense.
They weren't even
They
attacking
pulled-
me. They were just having a nice little chat.
Then you said they
All right.
took a threatening step forward with their billy clubs.
After you told them, you're not going to like me if I'm angry. So, Mrs. I threatened them first.
No, they threatened me.
5 is going to charge in with the pulled club and is going to attack you measly, but these people are terrible at what they do, so. 13.
No, a 13 will hit.
Take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, as they're just going to begin to mob you. As 7 runs up and is going to attack with a 12. Assume that misses.
Because I have not gotten my new AC yet, my armor class is a 12. Hit
What?
last time that did max. You did max damage on me, and you reduced my AC.
I thought you got that fixed. Okay.
You went to the caves.
Ah, gotcha. All right. Number 2 is going to charge, and he's going to attack your lovely.
How much damage does the 12 do?
Take an additional 2.
Yeah.
And ooh, that one definitely hits Dala. Dala's going to take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. See, I wasn't even meaning Dala to be like combat. She doesn't even have any hit points saved on her token.
She has been in this situation before, Drummond. It does seem like.
All right. Dala took 1 point of bludgeoning damage. Layla, it is your turn.
as a free action, I'm gonna go tell the others, and I am going to attack lethally. Gonna beat the crap out of him.
Okay. So 24 definitely hits. Okay, who are you hitting?
For 5.
Seven will do it.
I did non-lethal. I specifically called out non-lethal.
Oh, I thought you said lethally.
Non-lethally. Non.
All right. We're gonna throw the prone asleep.
And then offhand number 7.
Okay. $25 definitely hits. Number 3. Fails the con save.
What?
Okay. Due to that hit to the side of the head, Red 7 cannot take reactions. I'll give her that. All right, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I told Dala to run and get let the others know what's going on. To hold my ground.
Okay, Red 4 is going to come up. It's going to attack Dala. Missing with a 7. 6 is going to charge in now and taking the place of Red 5 and is going to attack with a club, missing with a 10. Red 1 is going to charge in here, attack you with a club, missing with a 5. Number Red 8 is going to charge in and attack you. For 21, take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Seven is still up, correct?
7 is still up. 2 is going to charge in, attack Dala, missing with a 4. It is Dala's turn, and she's going to take your advice. She's going to use her action to disengage. And she's going to have to go 5, 15, 20, 25, 30. So she didn't get really far away from the group. She's probably about there, because you can't force her way through the people. Round 2, this dude is knocked out. 7 is going to attack you with a club, hitting with an 18, dealing 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Two is going to move in here and attack you from behind, missing with an 11. It is your...
I'm gonna attack 7.
Nine misses.
Okay, well, I'm gonna attack him again offhand.
15 does hit. Okay. 4 is going to attack you with a club. Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
Catches you right in the back of the head, but only does 4 points of damage. You're a little woozy from this hit. Caught you square in the side, in the back there, and it's making you feel a little off. 6. 6 is going to spin, and well, Yeah, she's going to spin, and it's going to attack Dala. Missing with a 4.
Is 6 still within range of Dala?
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You know what? Dala should be here, and then this guy steps there to attack. So you have an attack of opportunity if you want.
Yep, I'm going to take it.
Fails. Oh, you actually catch him to the fact, and you see that he starts stumbling, and almost about to fall over as he is stunned.
Yes! Shouldn't he still be here, though?
We'll just say that he's stunned. He can't do anything. We're just going to say that he's sort of just stumbling off into the distance there.
Okay.
8 is going to... 8 is going to try to bear hug you.
Oh, this is grapple, so this...
These guys aren't very strong. 4.
This is straight up strength check, right? Not a athletics, correct?
You can use athletics if you want. Kind of wrestling. Yeah, he tries to go, and you sort of just kick him off. 3 is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Catching up to Dala, attacking with a club, missing with a 6. Dala is one slippery minx. It is Dala's turn, and Dala is going to disengage again, and she's going to run an additional 30 feet through town. You guys are... So this is where you guys are currently fighting. This is where Dala currently is. Make sense?
Okay. Yes, I get it.
Top of round 3, knocked out. Knocked out. 2 is going to attack you with a club. Missing with a 9. It is your turn.
I'm going to now... I'm going to attack 8.
Okay.
Oh, fuck me.
Okay, so you go wide. Next attack on you has advantage, but these guys are already rolling with advantage. So
They are?
well, because I can't change the damn setting. It's pissing me off.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, they have advantage on me?
The stupid cog won't show up, no matter where I go on this sheet.
So do I still have my offhand attack?
I found it.
You found it? Okay. Do I still have my offhand attack?
Yeah, you can still attack with your offhand.
Okay. I'm still attacking 8.
22 definitely hits. Con check. Fails.
DC on that con check.
9. For system shock, it's DC 15. 8 to 10 the creature. So he can't take reactions as you sort of give him like a really, really hard crack to the back of the head with the side of the axe. He's on the verge of being stunned, but not quite. He still has his faculties back.
Right.
This guy is going to attack you with advantage. On the top of advantage. With a 19. Doing 3 points of bludgeoning. 11 is stunned, but then you begin to see 11 sort of shake his head as he's beginning to come to his senses, and that's the end of his turn. Number 1 is going to attack you at normal with a 15, doing 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Are you still up?
I'm still up. I have 3 hit points.
Oh, good lord. Okay. And that was one's turn. Red 8 is going to attack you normally.
It's like in Captain America, I could do this all day.
16 for 2 points of bludgeoning. Oh my god.
I am still up.
As you are going completely feral right now, like turning every corner, lashing out with your axes, trying to block and hit everything that you possibly can. 2 is going to stop chasing Dala. It's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20 feet to there. And it's going to attack you. Missing with a 6. Dala is going to use her action. 30 feet. Oh, she is so close. Thalion, since you said you were still inside reading, give me a perception check, please. You hear a scream for help from a female voice. It is faint, but it is coming from outside the tavern. Go. Yes. Go ahead and you can go ahead and roll initiative. I can make this sheet tiny again. There we go. Awesome.
Shit.
Poor Dory's gonna try to run with his peg leg. Okay, that's your initiative for 11. No problem. I assume it's a free action. You're going to yell for Roger and Dury.
How is that?
Okay, did you roll for Gar Shadow? Okay, I'm going to reset this. Descending.
I just gotta survive one attack.
Pain in the butt. There we go. What's up?
I thought you were calling me a pain in the butt.
Oh, no. The round marker just kept... I tried to drag it up and then it would go all the way down to the bottom again. This guy is knocked out. It is Roger's turn. Roger is going to immediately, judging by the map that I had made, he's going to run 20 feet out from inside to outside of the door. And he's going to yell back to you, Thalion, it's Dala! And then he is going to use his action to add an additional 30 feet and sprint, making it just about to where she is. And they're going to spend their time, he's going to spend his time sort of talking to her, seeing what's going on. And that's all of his movement. This guy is knocked out. This guy's going, 18 is going to attack you with a club at normal. Oh, with a 20.
Fuck me.
And it's exactly 1 hit point. So this is how we're gonna thematically play this. I want you right now to give me a Constitution saving throw to see if you remain conscious.
Okay.
Okay, so you are sort of conscious and weary on the ground. You are considered in the bleeding out mode. You can give me death saving throws per round. But yeah, you'll probably see what's going to happen here. It is your turn, so go ahead and give me a death saving throw, just in case you.
They were trying to kill me. I was being nice, but.
No, you're knocked out, but you're fighting off unconsciousness. They're trying to knock you out, but you're a hell of a lot hardier than they are. Okay, so that's one success. You're still conscious. It is Garshadow's turn. Okay. Now, I want you to keep in mind the distances. So instead of making like a straight shot to where you probably know where Layla is, you're going to have to sort of add in running in through alleys, going around buildings kind of things, because this is an urban environment. All right.
Like you see me 60 feet or 100 feet down the street.
All right, so 4 is going to pick up 5, and they're going to begin to make a run for it now that you're sort of on the ground.
I can kind of see still, right? Can I see what direction they're going?
20. Yeah, that could work, because you can call out and stuff. So right now you see these guys heading directly north, kind of back over the bridge. It is Duri's turn, and this poor bastard is halved. His speed is permanently halved because of his leg. So he's only going to be able to like barely make it towards Garshadow. Valiant. Okay. She's being attacked. They surrounded us, and then everybody drew weapons, and it got crazy up by the bridge. She points.
Who do you think?
And it is one's turn. One is going to smack you in the back with advantage because you were prone. And this is non-lethal damage. With a 17, go ahead and give me another Constitution saving throw. Oh man, the DC was higher on this one too, and you still did it. You're still fighting off consciousness, but if they hit you one more time, you are going to pass out. And after hitting you, it's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, scattering away from the area. Six is no longer stunned. And 6 is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's going to start to run.
These all men.
They're all men. And they're all pretty big, sort of burly men that look like they work for a living. 8. Ooh, that was supposed to be at normal. 8 rolled a 15. 8 is just going to start pilfering your body on the ground, grabbing whatever he can off of you.
8? Oh, that motherfucker.
And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Scattering out. Grab that.
Can I try to grab his ankle? He's going to get away, but you know how I see him kind of, and I try to grab his ankle, but he shakes it off type deal?
Oh, yeah. You can totally do that.
I just want to...
It is Dala's turn, and Dala is going to use her full movement to sprint back to this square around the building. That's 60 feet. Commoner 2 is going to pick up 7, and they're going to begin to retreat. 5, 10, 20, 25, we'll just say 30. This guy is being carried by 4. It is Roger's turn. Roger's going to use 30 feet of his movement to get up here to the next square by dollar, or 60 feet. So, Commoner 7 is being given a helping hand.
Did you say that since they're carrying bodies, their speed is halved?
Yeah. 2 is going to, what do you call it? But they move 30 feet because of these. They're actually the dash. They're just sort of dragging these poor bastards along. What's 2? Oh, 2 is just going to smack in the back of the head with advantage.
Oh, motherfucker. Yes!
Missing with a 9 as you're barely holding on to consciousness, and he's going to take 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It is your turn.
Death save, correct?
Mhm. Yes. Okay, as you sort of reach out, your right arm gives away and you fall face first into the ground. A bloody wreck as you are unconscious.
Okay. Oh, Mark, move off my sheet.
Gar Shadow.
I'm in no threat of dying. Here, go ahead, Doug.
I like how Gar Shadow understands English.
I can see Thalia's just roaring.
60. Yeah, that gets you to about here, just before the alleyway, to get to where Layla is currently unconscious and knocked out. Still dragging. It's going to go 60 feet. That's almost taken him off the map. Dury.
If I screwed something up, I'm sorry.
No, Dury is hobbling along. He'll get to there. He'll get to there. Thalion, it is your turn. Okay, so that'll get you just in front of Dala and Roger. 1. Nobody can see where 1 is. 1 vanishes. 6. 30. 6 vanishes. 8 vanishes. It is Dala's turn. 60 feet gets her just in front of Gar Shadow to the mouth, near the front of your broken and beat up body. Newly dirtied after your nice bath.
I took a nice bath and these guys jumped me and beat me up.
This
I
guy
took out
should've
2 of
went
them.
first. He's going to shoulder carry across the bridge into this side. Nobody can see where they are. 6. These guys vanish. They're too far away to be seen in the dark. Roger, 60 feet up by you. That's a double move. And he has no weapons in hands. He just ran out with his fists.
Right.
18. That's 60 feet. 60 feet's out of view. It is your turn. You're currently unconscious on the ground. Just roll a d4 for shits and giggles.
Okay, I say you don't need a death save, right?
Nope. Okay, so you'd be unconscious for 2 hours if nobody was here. Gar Shadow.
Guards, there are no guards patrolling or anything like that.
Okay. Dury's huffing and puffing. He barely makes it into the next square. Valiant. Okay. So you get to the bridge and you run by sort of in front of Dala and Roger to Layla's downed form. And you pretty much you double. Did you double move, or you only go on the 30 feet? "30 feet gets you to the square where they're at. Okay. So we'll just drop you right next. You still have your action if you want to try to do. Okay, easy enough. You do reach down immediately, put your fingers in her neck, and she is still alive. You can see the bruises and cuts on her face. The back of her head is bleeding. You can see where she generally got roughed up pretty bad. Dala is going to reach down. She is going to cast Cure Wounds. As you come back to consciousness with 7 hit points, and you see the tears on Dala's face. Now surrounded by Garshadow, Thalion, Roger, and what can only be the sound of a very angry, heavy-breathing dwarf clicking and clacking his way towards you guys. Until at very last you see Dury carrying like a broom handle, sort of looking about with his peg leg and hook hand. Layla, are you all right? What happened?
That's Roger, right?
That is Roger.
Way back from the baths. I'm kind of on the ground, on my back, huffing, puffing. Confronted by 8 individuals.
Who were they? And you see Dury. What did they look like?
No. There were big, burly men. Try to remember any distinctive features from maybe one, or like their clothes or anything like that.
Give me a general intelligence check. Finish my cracker here. You remembered that some of them were wearing what seemed to be pins on their left breast in the shape of a circle, but you weren't able to make out the detail on the pin itself. But you do know that they were dressed in sort of workers' clothes, like no-sleeve shirts, and each one on their shirts had a circular pin.
They were some sort of, maybe field workers or something. They were pretty fit. They had a circular pin on their left breast of their chest.
Well, that describes the whole bloody town then. And you hear Roger say, if you couldn't catch the detail, it could be any one of the guilds. All the guilds here wear signifying pins with the guild symbol upon their breast.
Well, maybe if I saw it again, I'll probably recognize it, but were they specifically warning me, or were they trying being plural, like warning us?
It sounded like it was meant for more than just you.
Okay. They were giving us a warning to stop meddling in their affairs.
Dalian, give me a perception. As you're listening to Layla and you sort of look around, the one thing that is catching your eye immediately is that this area seems pretty deserted. There's no sign of a patrol. It seems quite isolated.
My shit! Ah!
Judging from the reception everybody took when you walked through town yesterday, it doesn't seem like you have a lot of enemies in this town.
They
But
were.
it's best to be safe. Come on, girl. And he kind of reaches up and he picks you up. He kind of steadies you on your feet as you all begin to sort of cautiously make your way back towards the Rose and Crown. And you see Brocker
Drew.
sort of swiveling his head. Dury sort of swiveling his head, looking about.
It drew first.
He looks to Dala, and Dala just kind of nods, but with like a kind of like a sour scrunch to her nose. And he just pats you on the shoulder. And you guys make your way back eventually to the inn. I didn't realize I was doing it at the time, but your coin purse is gone?
What else did they take?
He went immediately for your coin purse. You have your weapons.
Okay.
You still have your short bow and your quiver of the arrows that were left that you have that you were able to retrieve. Both the axes, everything like that.
Just wanted my money, essentially.
You could tell that when you were down, the one thing that they saw immediately that was worth the most, that guy managed to grab. Zirak.
Son of a.
Yes, sir.
As you were speaking to this entity in your book, a flare of light shoots out after the pages settle, almost like a firework in slow motion, leaving these sparks and trails of this golden white sort of plasma-like color. As it arcs, lands, and sort of stops in midair, and you watch as the flames begin to spread, taking on the form of a female body. Long flowing, golden white hair, long pointed ears, and what seems to be a sort of dress appears in front of you.
Well, in kind of a stammering a little bit over my words because I'm kind of astonished at the figure before me, as I didn't expect it to be a woman, I don't think. I knew that it wasn't Talus. I didn't think it was a woman.
She was speaking to you in a very female, well, no, I guess, it was writing. Sorry, it was writing.
Yeah, it was all writing. So I said, well, evening. Do you have a name? And I'm kind of stuttering a little bit.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Zarek. Finally. You may call me Saphirian.
Saphira? It's very nice to meet you. Were you Saphirian? Were you are you bound to this book? Are you What manner of creature are you, or being, or angel?
I was once elven, much like the sorcerer that lived in that tower, and in his desperation to save me, he bound me within that book. In essence, I am trapped, forever bound, my spirit not able to be free. But then you found me, and I have enjoyed watching you and your friends.
Well, I do apologize for almost bringing your joy to an end, but it seems my friends have declared their friendship in such a way that I am given a second chance, and I intend to utilize this second chance much less recklessly than the last.
Did you like my gift?
I did very much. The spell, the incantation was fantastic. The artistry was breathtaking.
I wasn't sure if I could trust you until then. There's a problem, for me at least, when it comes to mages who seek too much power. But I saw in your heart then, as you stepped forward to protect your friend. And that's why I came to you.
The way I see it is there is never too much power as long as that power is put to good purpose. If it is the purpose that defines whether the power is too much for a particular wielder or not. If the purpose errs on the side of dark, then the power can very easily be considered too much. But if it errs on the side of perhaps too much power is what is needed.
You sound just like him. And it's a sad smile that sort of greets her face as she kind of looks down to the ground.
I would also kind of bow my head in deference because the way I see it, Talus was a posthumous teacher. He taught me from the grave. I just learned through reading his notes and scribblings and whatever he had collected in his tower. So I have a lot of respect for the wizard as well. I do wish I could have known him in life. He seems to have been an enigmatic man.
He would do anything to protect the world, he said. Or she said, sorry. But it seems you and I will be constant companions. I hope this will be a friendship built on trust. If you need me, do not be afraid to call upon me. And I will aid you as best I can.
I thank you, Saphirian, and it is very nice to meet you. Excuse me. Perhaps there is some incantation I can use to summon you if the need is dire.
If the need is dire, you need only call, and I will give you the incantation you speak.
Very well. I'll go ahead and lift the book up and kind of open it, open the pages and kind of hold it up to her like a dinner plate and say,
You hear a very melodic bird song, like a beautiful laugh. It sounds quite joyful as she sort of walks to you and sort of pushes the book up to your chest and gives you a kiss on the forehead. And you close your eyes. And in an instant, she's gone. You look at your book as you close, and now the slate begins to take on different engravings. And you watch as this beautiful gold filigree of what seem to be flowers begin to spark and rekindle along the cover, almost reshaping the entire cover into this sort of symphony of vines, flowers, leaves, and this golden, like beautiful, beautiful golden filigree all over.
Very nice. It reminds me of the forest at home, being as all naturey as it is. I kind of hugged the book close, and then a wave of exhaustion would probably overwhelm me, given that I am recently returned from the dead and still tired from that, and also been up all day before that, so I'm sleepy.
Your spell book has become empowered. You can add +1 to magical attacks, +1 to damage, and also you could add 1 to your total save DC.
Oh, that is awesome. Okay. I will make those adjustments. It'll be really awesome in about 4 days after I've recuperated from being dead, but it'll help.
Eventually, wariness takes you, and your dreams come. And overall, it was a pretty pleasant night. Layla, you're brought back into the tavern. Immediately, Dury reaches for his trusty keg of dwarven ale, pours you a pint, drops it in front of you as Dala begins to sort of clean the blood from your face, doing her best to close up the remaining wounds. That is like the lacerations and the cuts. Almost as it looks like as if you've been in like a really long boxing match. Your eyes are beginning to swell, but the magic of her healing has managed to sort of stifle most of it, and the swelling has gone down, but there's new cuts, new lines, creases that have sort of graced your face again. This sort of hard-lived life that you've had just doesn't seem to want to give you a break at all.
Yeah, I've been beaten down, and when I get back up, I get beaten down again. I'm very frustrated and everything like that. You know, drinking the ale. I'm not chugging it down, but I am drinking it.
It's that same sort of bittery, hoppy taste in your mouth until the cloying sweetness of the aftertaste sort of takes it and refreshes you after every sip. I think it would be best to move around in groups instead of on your own from now on. He's like, that's a good idea, Dury. Thalion, in the morning, would you tell the rest of what happened? I think I need to go speak with my brother in the morning as soon as I wake. And he walks up, closes the main door, puts the latch, sort of leaving you guys there. Do you guys stay up for a bit? Sort of drink and relax?
Yeah, I'm too frustrated to kind of go and I know this is a long shot, but did I by chance recognize any of those voices, or were they all seem pretty new?
I want to see if there's any chance you might have had an encounter with any of them. Your only real foray into town was the carnival.
I knew it would be a much of a long shot, but
so go ahead. You know what? Go ahead and give me just a general intelligence check for your memory.
I'm assuming that's not high enough.
You missed it by 2. But you could swear you heard the voice of the man that originally spoke to you before.
It's like at the tip of my tongue type deal.
But you can't place it. You don't know right now if it's the concussion that's sort of healing in your head right now, thanks to Dala, or if you're just sort of going through all the voices that you've heard in your life, and just the tone and the way he speaks reminds you of someone in general. But it does seem sort of familiar in a far-off way.
I'm sick and tired of this.
And Dala kind of looks at you and kind of grabs your face in her hands, and she just says, sometimes it's okay to run. You don't always have to fight.
When they threaten us, threaten you, and it gets
It's
personal.
It's not the first time we've been threatened. It won't be the last.
Oh,
You need to
I
pick
know-
and choose your battles. Next time we might not walk.
like what? There's two people talking.
Dala said that this isn't the first time or the last time that either of you will be threatened. It's okay to run. You need to pick and choose your fights. Would Thalion say pack or would he say pride? Okay. Just checking. Eventually, you guys make it off to bed. Layla, you
I
pass
would-
right out.
Yep.
Was there something else you wanted to do?
I just was gonna add at the end. I know to say to Dala, I know I am working on my anger, the burden, and I'm making strides, but ever since, gotten worse.
Night passes, morning comes, one by one, all of you wake up. We'll say that Zirak and Layla tie for whoever wakes up last. As you guys sort of make your way into the main room where Duri is up again, sort of cooking a very simple but hearty breakfast.
I still have like a split lip and a black eye from last night and everything like that.
All of that's been pretty much healed, but the scars are there. Because as an acolyte, I believe Dala. Whoops, that's you. Dala has 3 first level spell slots. So she would have used Cure Wounds on all of that. So all your wounds would have stitched up, but unless you have some sort of regenerate spell,
Right.
or some of the herbs that Thalion can whip up, like the scars just keep accruing.
Yeah, I just I just wasn't sure if I still had like like I said the black
Hold
eye.
on, hold
or
on a
whatever.
second. My dog got a hold of a candy cane.
Boba, I miss you.
No, not the candy, Boba, no.
Jesus, buddy, it's not good for you. Okay, sorry about that. And all of you wake up to the news that Layla and Dala apparently were jumped in a very secluded part of the Lamp Burrow. And everybody seemed to have gotten there just in time as Layla was unconscious and the attackers sort of fled into the night.
Yeah.
Our company is truly blessed. As Layla, you have your life at least. You could have lost it, and believe me, it's not a thing to lose one's life. Good morning to you all. Enjoy
She
your
could have lost
breakfast.
it in the city. She could have lost it in the caves. She could have lost it last night.
Perhaps, Layla, you should be a little more careful with your life, for it is a precious thing.
Safety in numbers, basically.
What do you think they meant by what were we actually like? What instigated this?
said that-
As far as I know, we've only like taken some bounties and stuff, but that's about it.
They said
Perhaps
they said to me that we need to stop sticking our nose into where it doesn't belong. They didn't say specifically what, they just said we need mind our own business. I grudgingly look over to Valeria and like, head down and say, I apologize, Valeria, but be a little bit until I could buy you a new horse last night.
That's just another problem out of all of the other problems we have. And speaking of money, we do have to go back to the church in order to either pay our, or, bringing back Zirak, or, I don't know, some other way to get the money.
As you guys are speaking, you guys hear on the door a knock.
The inn door?
Hello? Hello? Is anyone there?
I'll go answer the door.
no, Layla, you stay there.
Well-
Wherever.
Isn't this an inn, or are they knocking at our room doors?
They're knocking at the door to the main tavern. There is an inn, but there's only a couple people staying here right now, and the doors are kind of closed. As there's a sort of general time that regular customers are allowed to come in, while the people that stay within the inn are provided sort of keys
That's
to
why
the-
Elise was a bit confused there. She's like, wait, what? Why are they knocking?
Yeah, I would go answer the door. Hello?
No, you don't.
You know what? Stop it, you guys. I'm gonna go open the door.
I'm not arguing. I was just Droman's just sitting there, no, sit, and I was getting up and go answer the door.
Everybody roll initiative to see who opens.
As Drummond's like, we're probably gonna get attacked because of you, Layla. They know what you look like.
I do! I didn't. Oh, God.
Not me.
I don't know what the rest of us look like.
Nobody knows what I look.
Well, that too. So you want?
No, I was joking about that, but that's a pretty good initiative roll.
I don't know what
How
happened.
the hell did you crit on a 16?
It says like, I don't know how that math.
Yeah, that math is
14
weird.
plus 20 plus 2, what?
Oh, you have advantage on your queued up on your thing, I think.
Oh, it's normal.
Huh. So Valeria, as you walk up to the door and open it, you see a well-dressed man, very old, graying hair, sort of a high forehead line, sort of a grayish, whitish, kind of well-trimmed goatee, standing in front of the door, and he's holding a bouquet of flowers and what looks to be a bottle of wine. He's like, Mademoiselle Chevalier, yes?
Yes.
Forgive me if you do not remember. I am Toman Trent, town magistrate. I dined with you inside the Duke's Hall.
Yeah. Can I help you with anything?
Actually, I heard about the news of what happened to Zirek, the wizard, and I wanted to come and check in and see if there was anything you needed.
No, of course, come in. Zarak, you have a visitor.
Thank you. And you see a very well-dressed man. If you guys look at that handout I gave you, he is number 2 on the Goodwill Council.
Well, good morning, sir. Won't you please come in and have a seat warm here by the fire, and maybe the cook can bring you a cup of tea if you'd like.
Oh, thank you. That's I would love one. Uh-oh.
I don't know what's going. I'm trying to figure it out. Sorry.
You are not here. Well, you're here, but I don't believe you went to dinner. Because you were out, you were out murdering people in the woods.
Me? Yeah. I wasn't there. I slaughtered a hunter's camp and some beastmen.
Good times.
Yeah, everybody's having them.
Which handout is this guy on?
The handout, the Word document that I sent you guys on chat, the people you've met. And he is number 2 on the Goodwill Council, all the way near the... Do you see him?
Okay.
And that's kind of his general appearance. He's a kindly looking older man. And he comes up and he has a very nice fresh bouquet of flowers that he kind of sets on the table, and also an offering of a bottle of wine. He kind of sits next to you, Zirak, and he's like, it was quite startling to hear that they were carrying your corpse through town to the chapel, and then apparently you were able to walk after the fact. I hope everything is okay. Like, and he looks genuinely like sort of worried.
Well, it was an experience. I do believe that I was fully on the other side. I had experienced death, and yet some divine being and apparently the love of my friends was strong enough to grant me a second chance at life. And I consider it a blessing. And I intend to do whatever I can with this life to make the world a better, brighter place.
Oh. Okay.
Like a biscuit. And I hold over, push my plate towards him with a couple of biscuits and perhaps some cheese on there.
Oh, thank you. I'll gladly accept. Forgive the mind of a curious old man. But what exactly happened?
And remember is exploring a cave, and there were some beautiful statues, but it looked as if one might be missing from where I was standing, and I approached the corner of where I thought the statue should be, and suddenly it was as if the dirt on the ground came to life and pulled around me and choked out my lungs, and as I lay there gasping for breath, my life slipped away. I don't know what happened other than that.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. So keep in mind, as this is the first day after being risen back from the dead, I have a -4 to my perceptions, which is to say I'm normal now. So I get +0.
Okay. He's just sort of intently kind of listening and sort of nodding his head as you tell him all this, and he's just trying to take this all in stride. I would like to invite you all to dinner. If you would accept, I would be most happy. I feel there are things that we could talk about together. Is this acceptable? Would you all like to dine in my house?
I look around to the group and I kind of have a smile on my face and I say, well, it's acceptable to me. Who can turn down fine food? We only get one life after all, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Spiritually awakened Zirak is the best.
Have you heard of the lady?
Life is like these biscuits. You just they're layers. Just eat layers.
Layers, yes, layers. Flaky, crispy.
Good. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a sort of foiled piece of paper. He's like, within is the address to my home. It is in the northern portion of the Crystal Fair district. I hope to see you all there. Can we say about 7 o'clock in the evening?
That works for me.
I very much look forward to it. I'm glad everyone is okay. I'm glad everyone is safe. And he sort of bows. And then he begins to exit the tavern. Who has the paper? He left it on the table.
Oh, can I pick up the paper that was left on the table?
Okay, so you pick it up and you open it, and then from this falls another smaller folded pieces of paper. You look at that, and then you look at the one in your hand, and you can see clearly it is his address. Exactly where he told you it would be in the Crystal Fair district. As the smaller paper sort of falls to the ground down at your feet.
I would
Oh, you dropped this.
reach down and pick up the small piece of paper that fell as well. I'm just kind of mumble something about my own clumsiness.
As you pick up the paper and you read, the paper says this. Please make no reactions to what you are about to read. But I fear things are happening that are getting beyond anyone's control. This is what I wish to speak to you all about. And that's it. There's no, he didn't sign it with his name, he didn't sign it with anything. It's just this sort of marking on the pen to leave it.
I would have read it first quietly and then read it out loud after that.
As you say that, Kira's like, well, this is what she's got.
Guess we're gonna have to go back to the dress shop. I mean, the clothes shop.
You can always just wear a robe. They're good for any occasion. And I just kind of
Fine linens should work.
collar of my robe.
I'm like, Kira's like, dude,
Yes,
All
it's
right,
our
all right.
business, and business is
I'm
good.
down for that. That way we don't have to spend any more gold that we don't have.
so we don't have to wear a fancy dress.
Oh dear God.
I've never worn a dress before. I can move as
Makes me feel
freely
quite
in a dress.
pretty, if you know what I mean. Hmm. I can come with. I mean, unless somebody else wants to go, like maybe a cleric. I don't know.
Well, you can go, Elise. I think I have something else I need to do first.
All right. I have nothing better else to do.
You said we all need to stick together in groups, so somebody has to go not alone. Somebody has to go with somebody.
That's why I'm going with Thalion.
Valeria,
Where did you need to go, Layla?
What was that, Carla? Sorry.
Did you need to go somewhere, Layla? I mean,
before what happened last night, I was gonna go help you buy a horse and help get some equipment, but I'm penniless. I'm not asking you, having you gonna pay for my equipment. I will make do with what I currently have. I will accompany you if you need to go somewhere.
Well, I was gonna head back to look at my notes. That's where we were yesterday before this horrible deal happened, because we didn't really exactly get any answers for some of the questions that we were wondering about.
Oh, you're talking about the lady place. Hiring women. Yes, I would love to go with you to that.
Sure, that works for me.
So
Maybe Sarah should stay.
Yeah, he probably needs the rest. I mean, he did just die like a day ago.
as long as there's people with me, I'm content to go with. I think that life is too short, and I don't want to miss any of the excitement, no matter what the cost.
Well, fair enough.
I think I can handle a walk to the church. If necessary, I can grab a stick and use it as a cane.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it and charity.
That was like the funniest image in my head.
But I'm not a charity.
Layla standing there in like loose fitting clothes, like looking like a street urchin. I don't like.
I don't.
Awesome.
We'll go there first.
It's insulting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm okay following Thalion and Garshadow.
Sounds like I'm gonna go with the guys.
Okay. So we'll start with the guys. As you guys go ahead and make your way out after eating your breakfast, and sort of everything is sort of catching your attention now, as you guys are kind of with hawk-like senses scanning everything. looking at the people that smile at you, the people that nod, in a whole new different light than what you used to before. Were these the people that attacked Layla? Is it that guy? Is it that guy? You're a bit sort of tense as you kind of move through the large crowds that are kind of walking throughout the city. But eventually, you make your way in square and into Everbloom Cathedral. Not a lot of people inside. The pews are pretty much empty. Every now and then you can see one of the sisters moving back and forth, sort of along the back, carrying cloth, ewers, papers, things like that. Oh yes, you've come back. And she looks over at you, Zirak. She's like, "How are you feeling?"
I'm feeling quite fine, thank you. Still a little tired from the ordeal, but well, thank you.
You'll feel the sickness for a while, but it'll pass. It is normal for those who have come back from the veil. It takes a great deal of energy to make that change.
Is this the person who performed the resurrection?
She was one of the assistants.
Okay, so I would say if it's not too much trouble, ma'am, would you perhaps tell me the name of the deity that provided the divine magic that brought me back to the land of the living?
Well, the is the House of Shantae. She's the main deity we worship here in Braeburn. Us being such an agricultural city and her being, well, the goddess of agriculture and growth. It is to her we owe everything.
I thank you. I shall, it's a bit of a stretch from my normal arcane studies, but I will offer a prayer to your deity each night before I go to bed. And thanks.
Give me a second. Let me find his name here. God damn it, where did I put that priest thing?
Hello?
Yeah, give me
Okay, it just went quiet and
It's for the life of me, I can't find where I put his. You know what? We're just going to call him the Father for now. Yes, let me go get fetch him. He's in the back. And after a couple of minutes pass, he does come back with the Father. Until I could find his name, that's all I'm going to call him. I apologize. He's like, yes, I did not actually expect you to return so soon. I thought you would all like to rest after the ordeal that apparently you all had gone through. Well, the cost of the implements that were consumed during the ritual, that tallied up to about 500 gold. We were hoping, though, maybe down the line we might be able to ask a favor of you when the need arises. It's very rare for us to get adventurers through town. Well, adventurers that stay. Oh, Goddess protect her. Is she all right? She says. Well, the gods work in mysterious ways, perhaps. This was maybe a message, maybe a path marker.
I nod my head in acceptance.
Yes. Jericho is willing to do that. Yes. The task would be suitable.
Stay as long as you wish. The Everbloom is open to all. If you excuse me. I must finish some other prayer. Yes. We do, but this is a church.
I have a vial of holy water on my person, actually. And if it is okay, I haven't used any of it yet, so if I can get a second vial, that'd be fantastic. But I mean, I have one. You didn't ask. I need it for a spell component, so I have a vial of holy water.
It is quite all right. Give me but a moment. And you see that he walks to the back, and he comes forth, and he's bearing like this sort of jug. Like to sort of equate it in size, it would be like a moonshine jug, like that big. And he sets it forth as like, I hope this is enough for whatever it is you may need of these. Goddess protect you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for pledging yourself. It is most appreciated.
Well, and if the goddess can't protect you, may the goddess at least bring you back from the dead. Praise the goddess.
He excuses himself. He makes off to the back. Just take note that jug has 10 charges of holy water. So whatever you're using it for, after 10 charges, it will be depleted.
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Ladies, You make your way in through town, and again, Layla, it hits you more than the other two. You can feel the hairs on the back of your neck sort of stand up as you're sort of going through, looking at everybody, almost trying your hardest to sort of focus in on voices to see if maybe there's one you can remember, but the din is just too much, and it's sort of putting your teeth on edge as you move through. Elise, Valeria, you can literally see Kira's shoulders just tensing. She's becoming stiff. She's on high alert. You guys are also being very perceptive, but not as overtly on the lookout as sort of Kira is acting. But the one thing that gets you, Kira, it just feels like you're being constantly watched.
Is it the same feeling like I feel when Euceris was watching me, or is this?
It is a very, very focused feeling.
Aria kind of puts a hand on Layla's shoulder. It's okay, and nothing's gonna happen. It's in the middle of the day. Just go do what we're supposed to do. Everything's gonna be fine.
Making your way to Whitehearth Square, going through the crowds of people, eventually you begin to hear the click and clang of hammer and anvils. And you follow the thick black smoke as you get to Harvest Steel, probably the largest, most reputable blacksmith here, the one that Thalion would have pointed you to. I assume you walk up, you garner the attention of one of the younger apprentices, who sort of walks up in his sort of sooty apron. He himself is just covered with soot, arms, face, sweating, carrying a hammer. Said, "Is there anything I can help you with?"
I am in need of some armor.
"Well, we got all kinds. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?"
I am double checking. I think I can wear medium. Yep, light and medium. I need some something a little stronger than armor, but not too expensive. I need, like, get me.
Let's take a right quick look then.
Yeah, one god.
Well, we can get you some, got some studded leather. That'll cost you roughly 45. Oh wait, I'm reading that wrong. Now we can get you some studded leather armor. That's probably about 45 gold. A little bit sturdier. Just a bit more protection, but granted it is leather. It's not as durable. We can get you some scale mail. Perhaps a chain shirt. Other than that, that's really all we can offer for that price.
Not wearing a I'd be able to move as freely in scale mail. I'm more of a dexterous.
It's pretty loose fitting. It moves much like chainmail. You do jingle quite a bit with it as well, but the protection is there. It stops just about any arrow. Can keep away most blades.
I try it on and get a feel for it before I purchase.
He sort of looks at your body size and he tries to grab one that is as close to your size that he can estimate, and he sort of gives it to you. And it's quite weighty.
Right.
You feel it in your hands. It's about it's 45 pounds of weight compared to the leather that you're bringing, but you can see how each scale sort of interlinks as you move your hand through it. And you can see the added protection that this would probably give you over leather, but it does come at a cost.
How much to the? You said it was a little. Is it like a little loose on me type deal?
It's a little loose, but you can probably estimate that they just have to take out certain links from the sort of chain coif underneath it to be able to get it to fit snugly to your body as you wish.
How much will that?
Nothing. That comes with the service. If you buy this, we'll make sure it fits up to you. You just have to give us a couple hours to do.
Take it.
All right. He goes ahead and he takes the 50 gold that you have. They begin to take some measurements on your body and sort of to your specifications that you give them. They take it into the back, give them a couple hours to be able to do their work, to sort of resize the links and everything, and they'll get it back to you.
She's always worn like leather and stuff like that, so she's gonna have to get a feel for this wearing. Okay.
Just take a note that you do have disadvantage on all your stealth checks, as well as the 45-pound weight of said armor.
I understand that. And cross that bridge when we get there. Am I talking to the master of the forge?
No, you're clearly talking to someone who's younger at the moment. He just seemed to have been the first person that saw you approaching and went ahead to help you.
Is a man dwarf? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
He's a human. He's a human, probably in his late teens, early 20s.
So, I have a question. Do you by chance work besides iron and steel?
This is my trade, if that's what you're asking. This is what I apprentice in. Really have no time to be toiling in the fields or even working in the docks.
What I apologize. What I meant is, do you work with? Do you or your forge can work with other metals?
Depends on what sort you need us to make. I mean, we're not exactly tinkerers or jewelers, but if it's a weapon you need made, I'm sure we can accomplish that.
I'm not forge master but is there any other is there any special metals out there other than iron that do different things that can hurt creatures or the such? I am an adventurer and I like to be prepared.
I mean, there's most, but they cost a lot. Most have to be imported. Around here, the best we can do is just standard iron, but you have pure metals like true steel. There is adamantine, although the dwarves, quite greedy with the knowledge, don't like to share how to forge it. I know the elves have their own certain special metal that they like to use for their own things, but I mean, there's multiple, but it's costly. I was just inquiring, like, if I was to a unique item, would you be able to make it, or? You're asking that If you find rare metal, giving us the chance to try to forge it into something.
Yes.
Well, that's what we live for, sir. Or miss.
Good to know. I was curious, and I like to be prepared. And if I discover something or an ore, I could bring it to you, and you could tell me what it is, and maybe turn it into something I could use.
We also forge our own weapons here. Each one we can customize to serve certain needs. We can add serrations for more damage. We can add counterweights and balances to make it more balanced in the hand. So do keep that in mind if you are searching for a weapon. Please come back.
Unfortunately, you have all the gold I have, but I work with 2 axes and a bow. Do you usually make bows?
Well, sadly, blacksmiths don't work with wood and string that much. I assume you'd have to go to a boya.
Oh, I'm not talking about a wooden bow. If I were to request like an iron or a steel bow, would you be able to effectively?
Wouldn't be as light, but I'm sure we could make it happen.
We will of that. And we will be back for. And how long you say? About an hour or so?
Just give them like a couple hours just to resize everything and then connect the links back up. Because it's a much easier process than actually having to repair armor.
Right. All right. Again, I thank you for the information. And we will be back.
Thank you for your patronage. We look forward to more business. You see him sort of take the links into the back, and you see him sort of sit down at a desk, and he begins to sort of painstakingly with like tweezers begin to undo the links on the sides that connect the 2 halves of the sort of what you have is it looks like a vest, and there is spalders that go over the shoulders. So it's not like a full arm cover. It covers your chest and then protects the top part of your shoulders. But like the arms themselves are loose. Or not loose, there's no leather or anything like that. So it's just sleeves are bullshit kind of thing. So
Mark, I have to ask, when in the caves when we were hunting the goblin, I did find a pouch, 3 copper, a gold necklace with a pendant, and a variety of rings. Did the thief steal those as well?
He only took your coin pouch. So if you put that in your coin pouch, or if you kept it separate, they did not find that. But if you added that into your coin pouch, then they are gone. So I leave that up to your discretion.
I am being quite honest. I don't think I did not put that in my coin pouch because I was going to sell it, and we were going to split the profit. So I probably would have had that separate.
Okay, that's easy enough. So give yourself 3 copper, a golden necklace, and some rings. Oh, that's the shit you stole off the dead.
Yes, that's
Oh.
So that's why I'm like, I don't think, and I can technically, because I was gonna write all this information down on my notes, and I see that it's in my treasure. So, going through my pack, and I go up to the girls. I'm like, oh, I forgot I had this. Go try to pawn these things, and I show them I remind them of the treasure that we found on the dwarf.
Okay.
I guess you could do that, but isn't that kind of another person's belongings? And I mean, I guess he's not using it, but I don't know. Just do what you want, actually.
Well,
I'm not going to try to be moral here.
Off dead goblins, and it belonged to them.
No matter which way you look at it, the dead have been looted, and you now own what it was on them. So you do as you please.
So since we're in the market, do we want to try to sell this real quick, or do we want to go to the maiden?
We can do this now since the Iron Maiden's kind of. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Harvest
Let's
Maiden.
just
Kinda far
get you
out.
some money so you
Harvest
can
Maiden.
get.
There you go.
Let's just get you some money so you can get what you need to get to live.
Okay.
That's
So
most
I would
important.
go and try to go and pawn this.
Okay, so you're just going to try to find a shop in White.
Is there like a jeweler's place or whatnot that specializes in it, or a stand that sells? I don't know. So I'm just looking for where.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check, and that'll tell me what kind of shop you find.
Investigation. Oh.
Okay, so you managed to ask the right person, and they tell you that in the Crystal Fair district, there's a man named Ashter Smythe, and he owns a business called Tall Crown Jewelers. And he is number 6 on the Goodwill Council sheet that I gave you. The name rings a bell to Valeria and Elise, as you guys also dined with him at the Duke's Palace when you all went for dinner.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're going there.
We'll head
District.
there then.
Okay, so you head to Tall Crown Jewelers, which you walk past the Harvest Maiden to get there. And you enter, and it is a very nice shop. Lots of glass cabinets full of glinting, shiny, beautiful jewelry. And behind, you see he's somewhat plainly dressed, but he does have the look of nobility about him.
Number 6, you said?
Yes.
Or you said Rupert Tortsman.
No, Rupert
Oh.
Torsman is the owner of the Harvest Maiden.
Okay,
You
I
have
found
gone
the page
to
now.
the jewelers, and you see there on the Goodwill Council number 6, that's Ashter Smythe.
I didn't go down far enough on the thing. Okay. So you said he was behind the counter, right?
Yes, and you can see that he has sort of jeweler's magnifying glass in his eye, and he seems to be appraising.
Good is it morning or afternoon?
It's still morning.
Good morning, my good sir.
He takes a sort of monocle magnifying glass off, and he looks, and he puts the ring down. He's like, yes, welcome to the Tall Crown. How may I help you all today?
I am in need. I am selling if you are buying.
And then you see that he sort of turns to look behind you, and his eyes kind of widen, and he smiles as he notices that Elise and Valeria are with you. He's like, Madame Elise, Mademoiselle Chevalier, it's a pleasure to see you again. Thank you for coming into my business. Is this a friend of yours?
Yes. She's looking to sell some jewelry.
You said
I
that. You
believe.
said that like you weren't sure, and he kind of has a.
We are friends. I heard about your dinner, but
yes.
unfortunately,
She's definitely a
I was unable to join you when we were invited.
Well, that sounds like a story I'd like to hear. If it's anything like the stories they shared with us at dinner, quite fascinating. The lives of adventurers.
Oh, you'll like this one. She's got quite the story.
I kind of like.
She kind of shoots Layla a little glare.
I turn my head and it's like that slow motion stare. I'm like,
This does sound like some juicy gossip, perhaps. Maybe over lunch if you're not busy later on.
well, we do have.
Um,
I think we should have time. Maybe I'm not sure.
Fantastic. I will say maybe we could meet at 2 o'clock at the Wooden Spoon. I should be able to close the shop by then and or leave somebody else to run it for me, but where are my manners first? Let us take care of business before pleasure, yes? You said you had things to say.
I will approach. I don't know what they're worth. I know they seem a little grummy, but I was able to acquire these, and I pull out the gold pendant, and you just gave me a variety of rings, so I pulled the variety of rings. How much can I get for this?
Okay. First, he sort of picks up the pendant itself, and you can see that it's kind of dirty, almost discolored, and begins to wipe away the grime with a clean cloth, and it begins to show the real luster behind the chain. And he's like, we don't get much dwarven gold around here. This is quite beautiful. Where did you find this piece?
In a cave.
Interesting, the lives of adventurers, he says, and he's like, for this, the quality of the carrot I can give you, I'll give you 55 gold for this necklace. I would offer more, but I too have to turn a profit, you understand?
This is business. I do understand.
Like, looking at these rings, these two are brass, maybe 2 silver worths for these. These ones, on the other hand, I will give you 1 gold for the ring set and 5 for each gem. So the 3 rings, 18 gold plus the 55 for the necklace, and let's say 4 silver pieces for the 2 brass rings. Do we have an accord?
We have an accord. I shake it. I would pull up my hand, to shake it like business. Is there any paperwork I need to sign to make this official, or?
We just need to exchange coin, and that is all we need to do here. Unless you wish to perhaps peruse and buy something of my wares, or maybe get something custom made.
I appreciate the offer, but I unfortunately, as a life and adventurer, my equipment needs repair and replace.
Well, that is very understandable. But please do come again, as he sort of reaches out his lockbox and he begins to count out the gold, puts it in a coin purse, and he sort of slides it over.
Mark, can you give me a total?
55 gold.
Please, you said
plus 18. I don't want to do math. Why are you making me do math? 70,
no, I got
73.
Brad, you're the smart one. Pull up.
What?
Plus 18 is 73.
73 gold. 73 gold plus 4 silver.
Perfect. Right, I got that on my character sheet.
And I look forward to seeing you all at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I can't wait to hear this juicy story of you.
You said the Wooden Spoon, correct?
Yes, the Wooden Spoon, best restaurant in the Christopher, mind you.
Okay, so it's around here.
That sounds like a lunch date. As she winks.
Yes, all three of us will be glad to join you, and all 3 of us will be there.
Oh, it is my
Isn't that right?
God dang it, Layla. Jesus.
You guys are not ditching me with this guy. I am dragging you along with her.
I was not going to leave you there.
Oh, well,
God.
yeah, it was your story that we were all gonna sit down and listen to.
No, but it sounded like yes. Oh, yeah, she will be there. All 3 of us will be there. Isn't that right?
Well, that's exactly why Elise said sounds like a lunch date to me.
Yeah, he is extremely, extremely excited to dine with all 3 of you ladies. And he is very much looking forward to hearing these stories. Okay, we're gonna cut over to the boys. Boys, what would you like to do now after you leave the Everbloom Cathedral and sort of make your way back into? So we're gonna treat, since it's just a rule in Xanathar, we're gonna treat it the same way you make potions. So it's one potion per 1 day of downtime. So you can try to make one potion today, since you do not know the recipe yet, and you're sort of experimenting with it. Once you learn the recipe, you'll be able just to make it. One poultice per 1 day of down. The Mage Royal? Who taught you the Mage Royal recipe? Oh, Vidara. Okay, because from what I remember is you forgot to ask her about it, like, because you're like, oh, and she's dead, so I couldn't learn it. And then you always forgot to ask Stitch, but we'll just go with it and say that you know it. So spending a time, one charge of everything you need to make the one poultice, you'll make one of the Mage Royal poultices. Nope, since you said you know it. You only roll now if you don't know the recipe and you're trying to experiment. Because it should be in your herbalism recipes listed if you know the actual recipe for it. Because right now it says you only know the 5. So just keep that in mind. Because you tried experimenting and you kept failing because the DC was so high because you didn't know the actual recipe. And you had holy water for it because you went and got holy water from the chapel area in the foundry. But that was a long time ago. So you have so do you have the recipe for Mage Royal? One platinum piece worth of platinum dust, it says for Mage Royal on my sheet here. Grave Moss. The Grave Moss one has 5 silver pieces worth of powdered silver. It requires Briar Thorn, just 6 fronds, Silver Leaf, 5 leaves, Dandy Dragon Root, 3 roots, Thief's Nettle, 5 leaves. And since Mage Royal is one of the special healing ones, that one requires some components. Okay. Because eating it Because you've just been eating the flower. And that allows you to get 1 maximum hit dice. Yeah. So just a heads up. Because the herbalism recipe thing is on your sheet, and those are the ones that you know. And you just never got around to actually being able to learn anymore because you kept forgetting and everybody kept dying.
I will excuse myself and bid you a good day, but the excitement of the morning has indeed tired me out a bit. I'm going to head back to the inn to relax.
Okay, Droman, would you like to do anything, or are you going to head back?
I think I'm gonna head back with Zurek. I've got a few things he might be interested in.
Okay. And then what were you doing again, Thalia? Okay, and then you're proficient with blacksmith tools? Okay. Okay, so easy enough. You go over there and you sort of walk up, and he's quite happy to see you, and you meet Harlan again. And you look to him and you tell him that you're here to sort of work, and he kind of puts you through the steps and kind of shows you the basics of starting to forge. But for the most part, after a while, you're just sort of running around, grabbing things, cleaning stuff up, sort of just helping out with the everyday stuff. But not so much actually like forging on metal, as most of the other apprentices are doing all that good stuff. Ladies, you have left Tall Crown Jewelers with the promise of a lunch date as well as a future dinner date later on this evening as well. Now you begin to walk back down the riverfront walk of the east side of the Crystal Fair District towards the Harvest Maiden. The doors are open this time as it's reaching closer to noon. There are some people going in and out. Looks like some people are going in to eat. Other people are going in probably just ready to spend the rest of the day in here doing absolutely nothing but drink and speak to women. What would you guys like to do?
I guess we'll try to find, let me see her name again. Find Gala. Yeah, Gala. Because first we'd probably have to apologize for what Layla said last time.
You guys do walk in and you see that there are waitresses moving back and forth carrying drinks. There are some strictly just sitting having conversations. You hear the sound of soft singing as you look to the back, and you see that there are a group of gentlemen sort of sitting in what look to be like very nice leather lounging chairs, while another woman is just sort of standing there singing to them as they kind of smoke their pipes and sort of drink their wine for the day. And it has a very gentleman's club sort of feel to it, but it is a tavern, and it is very nice and opulent inside compared to the Crown and Rose. And they're sort of moving about, checking in on customers. You see the blonde-haired form of Gala Burbridge kind of making the rounds, checking on people.
Being awkward. Back.
She notices you, all three of you, She kind of gives a scrunch-nosed frown at Layla, and she kind of approaches. She's like, it's the brothel girls. How may I help you today?
I remember you saying that there's probably an audition for, joining this establishment, working here or anything like that. But at the same time,
We just like to see if the women that apply have any sort of special skills that might be able to apply to their trade. We do have various requests from the people that come here. Some come looking for a beautiful woman to cook them a good meal. So we try to see if some of the women we hire can cook. Others can, of course. She points to the back, sing. We do have performances, dances, things like that. And if women wish to use their bodies for what they will, they are allowed to do so. We're quite open thinking here and allow our employees to do what they wish, as long as it is in a safe manner and does not bring dishonor to this establishment.
all right. Well, Elise is a thing of an actress, so I don't know if that would count it for anything.
And
I could
you,
dance,
I
too.
assume you're here for an audition, and she kind of looks to you. Your accent would net you tens of golds per night, just on your voice alone.
I mean, I guess I could probably, I don't know, talk to people. And Layla's a pretty good cook. I mean, if she's still able to be part of this, I don't know.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry about what she said before.
She kind of looks at you, Layla, with your new scars on your face. And she's also looking at you, Elise, as she clearly remembers you from the first time. You're really one of the only tieflings in town. And she's looking at your face, too, and like the brand new scar that's been kind of left on your forehead from your encounter with the ogre jelly below.
Yep.
Granted, we do have some individuals that like the more, looks to Layla, rugged look.
Right.
Perhaps we can make this work. I will take you back to the kitchen. Points to Layla.
I'm accustomed to makeup too, if need be, to help that one out. Points at Layla.
Very well. And what is your special skill, mademoiselle? And she sort of looks at you, Valyria, to see how she can sort of test you in this audition that you're sort of going into.
Well, I don't know, but being honest, I probably am not all that great at much, but I guess I do have pretty good manners, if that accounts for anything.
That counts for quite
You
a
know.
lot. And she sort of humps at Layla as she says that. Well, do get yourself prepared if you wish to put on makeup. Go ahead and do makeup. You, Layla, she says, follow me to the kitchen, please. And she sort of takes you to the back, and she's like, here we have a full pantry prepared. Cook me something and make me love it, she says. Chris, are you there?
I don't know, I think he died.
I think he said he was gonna be right.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was unmuted. She's like,
Layla, you better roll good.
Try to, you know.
Layla, you look at this kitchen. The pantry, the spices, anything you could possibly want is here. This makes the kitchen at the Maiden Fair in Valkenburg look like an outhouse.
oh, you'll love it.
Well, I'm waiting. What are you going to try to... This is what you wanted. You wanted to be a chef?
Yep.
Do something chefy.
I am since we're in like a medieval this I am going to make the first burger.
So you're taking into a very nice kitchen in a very well-respected establishment, and you're going to cook a ham. All right, go for it. Welcome to the Ritz-Carlton. Let me just go. I would like a hamburger. Okay. What are you gonna do with this burger?
Okay. I'm gonna go check out the breads. Look for a brioche. Salted pork, deep fry, and add more. I'm testing the bread, make sure it's all fresh and everything like that.
All the bread, like most of the bread you pick up, is still soft and warm, as if it was baked earlier this morning. You see that the cold cellar is chock full of hanging meats preserved. You see that there is wild game meat. You see that there is beef. You also look and you see where there is poultry hanging. Different sorts of fish have been brought in. Some are still salted and being cured. There is an array of preserved vegetables and also early spring vegetables that have been harvested. I mean,
I got an idea.
playground.
I'm gonna grab some salted pork, bacon. I'm gonna grab some bacon, some of that pork belly, and it's. I'm assuming this is is it smoked, or is it just salted like preserved?
It's salted pork.
Okay, so I grabbed
So
some
this is just
pork, some pig belly. I don't know if they have if I can spot some quail eggs.
You can imagine that whatever you can think of is probably here.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Your DC for what you're making, just everything hinges on what you say, your creativity.
I am gonna make a gourmet basic. I know it's a fine establishment, but I'm gonna add some meat to it. So I am going to make a gourmet hamburger with some salted pork, a quail egg, brioche bun. Add some microgreens to it.
Microgreen. Jesus.
Hey, you said it's a playground. I'm doing a playground. And I'm gonna put it on the. I'm gonna toast off the buns with some butter. See, on the bottom bun, I'm gonna layer it with some Dijon mustard.
Dijon
Fret.
or peasantries.
Fuck you, Mark. Fuck you. God,
Come on, you gotta get that refined,
Is that what you're cooking?
fantastic mustard. Come on, now.
I am not cooking that, but I was gonna make some homemade chips. Slice some potato real thin. Up. Mustard. It's gonna be a mixture of a little bit of wild game and beef, bacon, microgreens, and then a nice on the top bun. roasted garlic aioli, and then with the chips, with truffle salt.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a cooking tool check.
What?
This is something that you are inventing and not a recipe that you know. You're gonna have to use your intelligence.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. Oh, sweet. 16? That's pretty good. I think it's pretty good.
So you get everything just the way you want. You leave the top bun on, and you put the quail eggs on, and you sprinkle on the little bits of the salted pork over the microgreens. You use some of the tomato reserve and sort of mix it with a little bit of sugar and a dash of some vinegared wine to make this sort of like ketchup emulsion. And you get everything going, and you make the chips, and then you sit down in front of her, and she sort of looks at you. And she says you failed.
Have you even tried it?
I told you to cook something for me and make me love it. Does this look like something I would eat?
I don't know what you eat.
She said,
And it
cook something
clicks.
for me. You said, cook something for me and make me love it, and you made deep fried potatoes. Sprinkled it with everything. You made a very thick, like, mixed red meat burger. I'm sure this would do great down at the docks. And you see she kind of just turns around and she leaves. And you're kind of left there.
I
With your
kind
burger
of,
that you'd like slaved on.
I kind of whisper, "Royal bitch."
I heard that. As the door closed.
It was meant to be heard.
After a while, she emerges, and Elise, you go ahead and apply your disguise kit makeup to sort of hide the scars, conceal it a little bit. I assume you help Valyria put on some makeup?
Help me.
Yep. As long as she lets Elise. She will.
Unlike your friend, I will merely be observing you, and this will be shown. If I like what I see, if the customers like what they see, then perhaps we can come to an accord. So, wow me, she says, as she sort of leans back on the table with her flower in her hand, and she just kind of watches you. She sort of smells it. What do you guys do?
Oh, I just realized something. I know how to dance.
You do. You do know how to do
Indeed,
it.
Hilarious,
you
great.
do. Indeed, you do, Tiny Dancer. I was waiting for you to remember that.
the tiny dancer.
Oh.
Zarek wants to try to dance. Oh wait, I'm not there. I'm not there.
Elise is like, I got it. You know how to dance. And I know how to
Yes?
act and dance. Maybe we could do an exotic interpretation dance.
Oh, okay.
I take it you've never done one of those.
Right.
I mean,
I'm usually
better-
used
it's better
to
than
more
square
technical,
dancing.
more classic stuff, but you know, I'm willing to learn.
This is true. Well, she might like you better as a ball dancer, maybe?
Oh yes, I'm very good at that.
I did take this one belly dancing lesson before from one of
We
the
could have
Dixie-
sparkles and stuff, like with magic and stuff, if we have anything that.
Exactly.
Too bad I don't have like prejudice, blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah, too bad you didn't have Zeriak's
Great, yeah.
prestidigitation. Oh, that would have been fantastic. It's okay, we don't need it. We got it. We got this. Throw some glitter on the floor. We got it. Just gotta find some music, of course, because I'm pretty dang sure a silent dance would be a bit strange.
We could ask someone up there if that could play an
As
instrument.
you guys haven't been, like, you guys haven't really moved away from her. You're just sort of having this conversation, like, 5 feet from here.
That's
And you
okay.
see where she puts the flower down, and you hear sort of clap as she looks up to the balcony, and then the music changes. And now you start to hear the sort of waltz-like music as some of the other women come and they begin to move, like in a very sort of clockwork precision way, begin to space out the tables, leaving a large area in the middle specifically for dancing, as some of the women are taking some of the men in the middle, and now they begin to dance.
All right, let's do this. We're totally winging this. Let's do this.
Just imagine that lady probably just heard us just going, oh yeah.
It's okay. And then a little spin, and then that. Yes.
Are you just dancing by yourself?
Oh no, we're.
Think you're supposed to grab one of the men and dance.
So we'll do that. Okay.
As
doing that.
Elise takes the hand of a gentleman.
There's a very eager gentleman as you approach Elise and sort of hold out your hand, and he sort of looks at you and just how exotic your violet skin is and your horns, and he eagerly takes your hand out for a dance. Valeria, you walk up and you notice another gentleman sort of looking at you in a very appraising manner. It at first makes you want to like punch him in the face for kind of looking at you like that. And then you
It's like
sort of
this
stop.
I just having this feeling of, what are you looking at?
You know what? You clench your jaw and your right fist a little bit before you relax.
And then I
as you
just
remember
and I
that you're here for a
smile.
purpose.
Yes. I'm smiling. Yes. I love them, but I'm smiling.
Okay, so we say that you approach and you do one of the formal curtsies that you were taught as a young girl, and display all of the sort of noble disposition that you wanted to sort of hide away for so long. He takes your hand as you lead him out to the dance floor. I need both of you to give me performance checks. I believe, Marcy, with
Take two.
your brand new found pendant, you have advantage on that.
Okay, so roll performance with advantage.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me look at your medallion.
Yeah, I was just about to go look at that.
Should be in the handouts.
Companion calendar.
Items.
handouts.
Marcy.
Items.
The tutor's pendant.
Yeah.
Yep. The wearer gains advantage on all performance checks while wearing this necklace.
Perfect.
Okay, so both of you give me performance checks for your dancing. And, oh wow.
Shit.
Nailed it. This is about the same time, Layla, as you sort of walk out, kind of pissed at the world out of the kitchen that this bitch didn't even eat my fucking burger.
Exactly.
And almost immediately as you're thinking this, you were caught and struck at the gracefulness and just how beautiful Elise looks at this very moment. As you, being of a persuasion that finds other females quite attractive, it's one of those makes your heart skip a beat moments as you're watching this sort of wide, elegant smile on Elise's face as she is leading this waltz with this man who looks like he's in heaven.
All right.
Even if
Here
she
goes
went,
nothing.
She would still be starstruck.
I tripped over my own feet. Oh God.
No.
Just the tenseness in your shoulders at wanting to first hit this guy is almost seeming to grow as he is quite handsy.
Oh.
This is something you don't appreciate. It's making your body stiff. It's making you quite uncomfortable. His breath smells of what you can only imagine to be somebody that's drank a lot of bourbon and or brandy this early in the day. And it's overall making you uncomfortable. You suffer through it, but your performance suffers because of it. not so much you. It's the
Oh.
creepy guy grabbing your way.
I don't know then, I guess.
Soon the music dies
Just
down.
gonna.
Everyone bows. Elise, you walk off to a raucous applause. As everyone was sort of enraptured by your performance and your movements. You too get some applause and some nods, Valyria. More so people flocking to you just to speak with you.
Okay.
To realize and learn who you are. And there is some recognition from that fact by Gala, but you can see that she is quite happy with what Elise has to offer the Heartsman.
Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna try to
Takes a
have
slight curtsy.
nice talk and stuff. I guess. Congratulations, Elise. I'm just gonna try to at least recover from that a little bit. I'm just like, okay.
Oh, don't worry, it gets better after your first time. Trust me. I've been doing this for years. Kind of an element,
Yeah.
you know? Part of the entertaining. You just gotta shake off the jitters, and I'm sure you'll be just fine.
After a while, Gala.
I'm gonna stick a lucky
Gala
rabbit foot
approaches
under
you.
your skirt.
Yeah, Gala approaches you. As also Layla joins you. She's like, Miss Elise, we would like to offer you employment here if you so wish to take it. That was quite a stunning performance. I would say you need to work on direction. She looks at Layla and kind of like looks you up and down. And perhaps a sharpening of one's dancing skills could lead to quite a fruitful employment for you, miss. She looks at you, Valyria. But do please come back. You are more than welcome. Thank you for your time.
Right. And with that, Larry's gonna go outside for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I don't finish the burger. And when we leave, I'll throw it in the if there's a trash while we're walking by because we do have a lunch date now.
So you weren't like pity eating your burger in there?
I was more of a I take a bite out of it. It's more like I take a bite out. And just
Pretty good.
a single bite.
I'd laugh. You take a bite and spit it out yourself. Like, oh yeah, I need more.
It's pretty good. You're pretty happy with what you made. But you can
Uh,
sort of look at her and then also looking at this sort of food that you have to hold with two hands, and maybe it's not elegant enough for a lady to sort of eat in public.
I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna perfect this burger and send one to her with a note saying "Eat it, bitch."
Because that'll work. Thalion, you are working away, and you're realizing now just how hard it is to be a blacksmith. The heat inside the forge is absolutely oppressive. You're actually shedding layers of clothes as you walk around, as this is something you are not used to. Compared to fighting, this is 10 times harder, as you're being taught more and more throughout the day and sort of practicing on how to sort of fold and draw out this metal in a way, and your arm is getting extremely tired. You have to switch arms most of the time, but you're right arm centric, and you're starting to get sore, a little bit dizzy. This was a hard day's work trying to learn this business. After a while, Harlan approaches you and he thanks you for your time here, but as the sort of day goes on, there's less and less need for forging, and it's just a general cleanup that his apprentices are sort of taken care of, and he kind of sends you off on your way. And he's like, it's been a couple hours. If you can bring this to your friend. She ordered this earlier. The blonde one. Scars on her face. Thank you. Come again. I look forward to teaching you more. Perhaps get you hooked into this craft of art. Okay, I'm gonna move to the other map. Dromond, Zirak, you guys are back at the tavern. Zirak was a little bit weary of walking about. You
Yes,
decided
but
to go with him.
Droman said he had something he wanted to share with me, and now my curiosity is piqued.
So I have that black candle that when you light it, it produces no light, heat, or smell that you might be.
That is interesting. What does it produce if it doesn't produce light, heat, or smell?
I'm not sure. I just found it, and I thought you might be interested in it.
So you see that he pulls out this black candle that looks like it's been pretty used. There's probably about 5 inches of it left, and you can see where the wax has started to drip off to the sides from where he broke it off of the holder before taking it. And you see him bring out flint and steel, and he lights it, and you watch as this jet black candle lets off this blue flame. And curious about what he said, you move your hand across and you feel no heat, though the flame is evident. But it doesn't exactly shed light. It's just like if you can imagine this shiny, bright blue bead that's flickering and burning, but it's not giving off any sort of ambient light off of it. All the light seems to be focused directly on the flame.
Okay, I can imagine that. I am fascinated. Do you mind if I hold on to it and perhaps experiment more with it while I'm working on my spells and such?
Please, I would love to know what this candle's purpose is.
Thank you. Anything else?
And then I'll pull out that book I've been holding on to.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. I love books. If we get to the common room of the inn or some such, I would find a table a little bit away from any patrons that might be in the inn. And I would love to look over this book that Dromond is showing me.
I would love to give it to you, but you see, this book could be worth some money.
Well, I'll see if I can't make a fair appraisal for you, my friend.
All right. I'll let you have a sample.
It's a first edition something, isn't it, Mark? First editions are the best.
If I can fucking find it, it has all but disappeared from here. What the hell? It's not in my handouts.
Here's the little I know about.
Oh my god. If it's an abjuration magic book, I'm not sure that I might pay you for it. Because I'm an abjuration wizard. So as soon as I would read this, I'd say worth money. Worth money. Worth money to who? To me? Maybe? Nobody else would want to pay for this, Dromond, I swear. Just
Oh, you think so?
I think that its value is very limited, in that it would only benefit wizards of a particular school.
Oh, would you happen to know such a?
I do know one, and so do you, because it's me. I think that fate has brought this book into your possession so that you might share it with me.
I did for a price. I must make a profit. We did not get paid for this last place, and I'm trying to scrounge up some money right now.
I can understand that. How about the cost of the book is a proper identification of this candle that you wanted me to look at?
I don't know. I'm thinking the book might be worth a little bit more than a simple appraisal. What would you say to 15 gold pieces and an appraisal?
I would call that a fair dealer. A failed deal. A fair deal. A fair dealer. You're a fair dealer. Fair deal. But I would have to go up to my room in order to get you the gold.
I'm gonna reach down and I'm gonna take the book back and be like, "You'll be right back, right?"
I'll be right back. I might be encumbered as I carry the amount of treasure that you're asking me to carry back down the stairs. Literally, it will encumber me to carry any more weight.
It's not so much the book, Zirak, that is grabbing your attention, or the fact that it's actually a folio on abjuration. It's the name of the person that you saw that wrote the afterward message. And you recognize Ignatius Augustine as one of the former magisters of the College of Aberration on the abjuration platform of Seradane.
Oh, it's definitely worth the money then. I'll have to. So I'll go to my room, and I have a locked chest. I purchased a lock. It's a mundane lock. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm talking and I don't have the alt button pushed down. So I said a bunch of words and you guys didn't hear it. I get the key, my locked chest in my room, and I'll take out 15 gold and I'll bring it back down to the common room. So I can pay you 15 gold, no problem.
And I will hand you your book. May it help the party.
That's a fair deal. I would like to read this book and, of course, the afterword. And I would also then, Mark, pull out my pearl and cast Identify on the candle.
Okay, so it is 25 pages inside this Librum. It is a small, concise study of new abjuration magics and how such feats can be achieved. By focusing on certain elements, you're able to strengthen one's magical aura to help the body and also to befuddle others. Give me a intelligence check.
Oh, can I wait 4 days to do this? Because if I do it now, I'm going to suck.
It's up to you.
Okay.
You said you're reading it now.
Yeah, I'm reading it now, but I mean, I would be willing to study it for the whole week in order to get better because I'm very tired. And, but yeah, I can give you an intelligence check. It's yeah, it would just be a +0. Okay, so I'll do investigation. Oh, that's not a bad check.
You find within the
Gods.
paper a cleverly hidden cipher that immediately picks up. And after a while of reading, after you quickly finished it, you start to pick up on what seem to be spell equations. And you see that hidden cunningly inside these books are equations for 2 spells that you could probably imagine are made and formed by Ignatius Augustine himself.
Oh, fantastic. That's definitely the 15 gold that I paid.
You know now, after seeing this, that this book is worth way more than 15 gold.
I think that Droman made a wise choice because the worth might not just be gold. It might be in that I might save his life with magic contained within. And since life is the most precious thing we own, it's a small price to pay.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link you.
What about the candle?
Oh, the candle was just bait. I needed to. Mark's probably laughing at.
The original appraisal for the book is 100 gold. But I do like baiting him with the magical item. I was like, perfect. You know Zirak too well.
Well, I also think that the candle might be like a black light or something to reveal hidden secrets that might be back there. But I don't think Zirak doesn't know where I actually found it. So if he can tell me what it does, I can take it back there and collect all the
Yep.
loot later.
And
Yeah,
my
'cause
intention is to I'm giving Drummond a free identify of the candle, and then I'll hand him the candle back.
And there's also what that 15 gold pieces means to me right now.
I know what it means.
Chris, you don't know nothing.
Nope, I know nothing. I just know we're going to Jenga.
You know what? There, I just put it in a handout because Messenger is like making it. You should see a handout in your sheet for 2 brand new spells that no one else in the world really has right now. One called Fiery Gaze, and another one called Earth Armor.
Excellent. Okay, I'll take a look, and I assume I can just follow the regular rules of spell books to inscribe them into my spell book.
Yes.
But they're abjuration spells, so they'll be cheaper.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll spend the next day or so doing that too.
They are, but I believe they are 3rd and 4th level spell.
Yeah, so I can put them in my spell book, but I don't quite have the power to cast them yet.
Yep. Now, as you sort of finish this and kind of wring your hands together, there's so much excitement, and you're ready to write this, but you also see this weird candle in front of you that is also sort of really eating away at your curiosity. And you bring forth your pearl and you begin your ritual casting of Identify, and what immediately strikes you is the darkness of this candle's creation. There are traces of necromancy running throughout this candle. You realize that this candle is made from the fat of humans. The flame itself is laced with what seems to be divination magic. That this candle allows you to speak long distances to its twin made from the same body. Realizing this, you Ooh, a coughing fit. Wow. Realizing this, you immediately blow out the candle, realizing that the entire time this flame was lit, somebody could have been listening into your conversation. And then you realize that the fact that this candle doesn't produce light or flame, who knows if the candle was lit from the other side and someone was listening into the conversation through Roman's bag.
That is, as I start to understand this magic, or at least the peripheral nature of it, because I can't learn necromancy, but I do know what necromancy is. So I would say this to Droman, this candle is made with dark magic, and it's you can hear, or it has a mate, it has a twin, and its twin can hear and possibly even see through the flame of this candle when it's lit. We do not know if we were accidentally spied upon, but I wouldn't recommend lighting it again unless you know where the other one is.
Well, maybe they'll be more valuable if we can bring them both together. But I guess what you're saying right now is this is useless except to the person on the other side.
It seems. It might, however, be possible if you know from whence you found it. I could try to locate its partner if it's nearby, but my magic only stretches so far. If the owner of the other candle is more than, say, a quarter mile away from where your original was found, I would be unable to find it. As divination magic is not my forte, I just understand it a little bit better than necromancy.
Well, perhaps if we find a necromancer, it'll be valuable to them, just like that book was.
That's a good call. A necromancer might find value in this candle, and I would then hand it back to Drummond.
Thank
And you remember where you got it, yes, Drummond?
I have notes, yes.
Okay, so you found it when you found the little alcove in the
Yeah, in the
graveyard.
wagon graveyard.
Okay. After a while, Thalion, you come back. It's about 2 o'clock now, and the girls are on their way to the wooden fork.
Spoon.
There to have dinner, or the wooden spoon to have dinner.
Okay.
With Ashton Smile. Ashton Smile. So I will warn you. Roger told you that it was used in the old tribal magical days as a very strong love potion, as well as a way of boosting magic. But if made wrong, it is highly poisonous. If this is something you wish to attempt, I'm all. Well, if Thalion forgot, then he should do it. Just don't mind me.
Player knowledge versus character knowledge.
Okay, go ahead and give me a herbalism tools kit check using your intelligence. Don't forget about your +1 that you got for studying those 2 notebooks that you took from Vidara's. So really, it should just be a D20 plus your intelligence +1, because you're still not proficient with herbalism. Okay. Okay. So you go through and you begin to add the beeswax, the bits and pieces of the pure ash. You begin to add these sort of small honeycombs to make the solution thicker as you start to add more water. And you begin to pull the petals from the flowers. And then you throw in the middle. And then you throw in the stem. And you start to mash everything together. As the color sort of bleeds out from the white leaves, as they start to take on more of the water and sort of become undried as they've been in your pack for quite a while now. You begin to put this together, and you come up with this sort of clear, floury-like paste. You don't know what it does. Where's Layla? She would try this. So you put it in one of your leaves, your large leaves, and you sort of fold it up, put it in your pack. Yeah, now you have, what was the flower? It looks like the crest of House de Four. It's called Thimbleweed, an abundant wildflower. So mark on your sheet that you have a poultice of thimbleweed. You just did your one day thing, right? On the thimbleweed. Yep. Because that's I'm just going to use the Xanathar's rule for it, and then it just makes more sense, I think. But we'll still use the rolls of what you do. But the crafting rules in Xanathar's for like potions and stuff is 1 potion per 1 day of downtime.
Get that. I can see that.
So it's an official rule, so we'll use that. But if you would like to learn recipes that you do not know yet, we'll just do a roll. And if you succeed the roll, then you learn the recipe. Easy enough. Okay, ladies, you make it back. You make it to the wooden fork or the wooden spoon. And there you see sitting outside, waiting at one of the nicer tables, is Asher Smythe, who immediately stands as you approach, with the largest, doofiest smile on his face as he is being joined by 3 somewhat very attractive women who are well-known adventurers through town. And you can see that he's kind of eating this up as he's watching all the stares from other people. You kind of see that he's really enjoying himself at the moment.
Like, yeah. That's right. I'm with them.
They're with me, like that kind of. Please order whatever you like. It doesn't matter what they make here. Clodimir is an absolute genius when it comes to food. It is my treat. All I ask is for some exciting conversation, perhaps maybe some stories of your adventures as of late, things you've experienced. I am on cloud 9, and you can see he's very happy to be there. And drinks are brought out. You can see that he has ordered 4 glasses of wine, and they have been prepared before you, as well as some sort of accoutrements like some bread with like dipping oil and stuff like that. The wine is excellent. Even the bread here is it's wheat bread. It's fancy noble. No, it's white bread. It's fancy white bread. As most nobles find the non-existence of color to be quite luxurious when it comes to bread. Like there's no large oats. It's very soft and chewy, very decadent.
Is it a red or white wine?
White wine or red wine.
Okay. Yeah, I would, I would say I'm, do the whole smelling and tasting thing, but Layla's not that reformed. She will, and she will, be politely and sip on her wine, not chug it down like some barbaric animal. Do you recommend any dessert? I have a bit of a sweet tooth.
We have not even yet to eat food, and you wish for sweets. You crazy adventure. I can arrange to have some desserts brought out if that is what you wish to eat today. Really, I'm just here for the company.
What would you like to hear?
Please regale me with some of your tales. Things you've done, monsters you have slain.
Well,
Where are
I
you
am-
from,
I-
Miss Layla? Tell me about your homeland. Tell me about your.
I am originally from the north, but I travel. The road is my home.
Strange, you do not seem to have a New Saran accent unless you mean you're from Pterodon.
Bring up the map. I'm from beyond Pterodon.
Ah, the Border Princes, or from the Akati Steppe themselves? And you know that the Border Princes, he's talking about Biergard, and the city's just on the other side of the pass. And then through the forest in the Akati Steppe, that is where true Nusaris is, where Volograd and the steppe right.
I am originally beyond that.
Even further north than the steppe. You can see he looks very confused at what you're trying to tell him.
I'm trying not to tell him I'm from the great expanse.
Yes, I know the Great Expanse. That is Nusaris.
Oh, okay.
Which-
wait,
which
I
part of-
might have the.
Which part of Nusaris do you hail?
Am I what the? Quite honest, I'm not sure myself. You see, my family, we've always traveled, and we traveled from place to place.
I do apologize if I touched on a touchy subject, but please don't feel that you must lie to me. It is okay. I'll just change the topic of conversation.
I don't have a pleasant history.
Say no more. We shall change the subject. Lady Valeria, please tell me about the lands beyond in the Freeland. I've always wished to visit Estar.
Yes, it's quite nice. Maybe a little bit boring. There's not. I mean, there's not much to. Well, I guess there's the blood that they have that in the spring.
You're not coming here prepared.
No, we did not.
And he's just sort of like, just kind of looking at you guys like he was expecting great conversation.
Oh. Here,
I mean,
would you like to hear about my latest endeavor, my latest hunting trip? That why I wasn't able to join you on the group's first visit.
I would love to hear this. Sounds amazing.
Yes, that would be perhaps a better thing to talk about.
Before I went on my trip, I asked around the locals to ask what the best hunting grounds was, and one man in particular told me about the forests in the northern forests where the beastmen live.
That is a dark place to go. Many stories of those beasts coming down to raid the outer villages. It's quite dangerous. Even the road to Pterodon itself isn't safe unless you travel with armed guard.
Yes,
There are tales, mind you, that have recently been making their way from the traders. They speak of a large beast that attacks camps, rips men to pieces. It is thrilling.
Really? Well, I did visit the woods, but I did not encounter such beast.
I told
I did-
them it was probably the beastman, but who knows? Who
I-
knows what's really out there?
I did encounter a hunting trip. It's distance, of course. I didn't get too close. observe him for a little bit.
They're quite nasty and truly unfriendly, as you've stated. Mm-hmm.
What did you bring back on this hunting trip? Were you able to bag yourself an elk, bring back a bear? What?
Well, even though I was watching from a distance, I was spotted. Scout.
And you can see that he's just enraptured by this story of daring and adventure. Then he's just listening as a waitress comes, and she's waiting for. If you wish, I can order for us all. That would be.
Please, we're at your mercy. Since we are new to this, and you seem well know what they.
And you see that in his excitement, he just starts ordering a shit ton of food. Way more than one should be eating at lunch, but you can kind of tell that he doesn't want you guys to leave very quickly. And you see that he's ordering like roast stag. You see that he's ordering like a crap ton of fish, like wild salmon with wild berries, rack of lamb platters, like honey braised ribs, like all this stuff. And after a while, he just keeps talking, and he keeps you guys there for quite a while as you guys sort of eat this delicious food and kind of talk. And you try to excuse yourself, but he kind of keeps you there a little bit longer because he doesn't want to give up the conversation.
But we're not trying to. It's like that off-board thing where we don't want to be rude and say, "Hey, we got to leave," but like yeah, and but we got to go do this and blah blah blah.
Oh, please, I would love to do this again. This was quite a treat for me. Thank you so much. And you can tell like the sun is getting low. You can probably imagine right now it's like 5 in the afternoon.
Okay.
This is he wearing a emblem on his
Well,
like
he
a,
really
like,
does like his
a pin?
stories.
You can see that on his left breast, he is indeed wearing a circular.
I'm what does the circular pen look like? I mean, is there anything specific on it now that I kind of have a?
You could see on his pin, it looks like a thresh of wheat with a hammer and what seems to be tongs, like almost like pincers. Kind of the detail you can make.
I can assume like it sounds like he's from a part of an artisan guild.
You can imagine that he is a jeweler. So you're probably thinking artisan or trade.
Before we leave, what can you tell us about the harvest maiden?
It's probably the best run establishment in town. Have you?
Unfortunately.
They were.
He looks at you confused as you say, unfortunately, as he just told you it's probably the best place in town to.
Well,
Me and the hostess, we didn't see eye to eye.
Did you audition? He says with kind of a smile and like brightened eyes as he looks at all.
We did.
Did not go well for me and Layla,
Yeah,
but Elise was very good at it.
She went well. She's just needs the practice. But you could say Layla. You could say Layla is a bit how do we say it, Layla? Rough around the edges, a bit too much for her.
She told me to cook for her, and she didn't even try the food.
You gave her a burger. That is not something
Whatever that is.
fine person.
And what is this burger you speak of?
Oh, well, you see, Layla is actually quite a very good cook, but I'm afraid her menu's adventure menu, not fancy higher class menu.
I adjusted it so it would be fancy.
You
I'll do
don't
the
make
quotes
burgers
fancy.
for princesses is basically what she was trying to tell you.
Well, I must say, if you all do plan on working at the Harvest Maiden, you can guarantee that I will be one of your main customers.
Oh, that is very assuring. At least we'll have a familiar face there. Right, Valeria? Nudge, nudge.
But thank you. I do enjoy, and I have enjoyed this meeting and this lunch. I do hope we can do it again. This was quite different for me, as I normally don't close the shop for this amount of time to come speak, but I just couldn't pass up on the opportunity to have you all to myself for a little bit.
Yeah, I hope we
Well,
weren't
we are most
too-
honored that you took us. Mm-hmm.
He reaches out to each and every one of your hands. Even you, Layla, in a very gentleman sort of way. Do you proffer?
I do. I know he's gonna. I'm assuming he's gonna go and kiss my hand. You know, the whole.
Each and every one of you, if you proffer your hands, he reaches forward, he gives you a kiss with a curt nod, and just with a smile, he sort of waves you all off as you guys sort of make your way out of lunch, eaten. You probably ate quite a bit of the food, I imagine, since it was all
Yeah,
of ridiculous quality.
If he was paying, I would have been polite and had a good portion of it.
You can probably imagine that he bought you guys like a 75 gold lunch.
for a light jog.
Night is coming down. You guys make it back at about, I'll say, close to 5:45, and sort of hurry to get ready and sort of make your plans for this dinner tonight
I will
at
still eat
Magistrate
dinner.
Tramp. What do you all do?
Well, Valeria wants to talk to Elise since she was able to get in, and so she's like, well, if you get a chance, if you do end up working, try to maybe get some information out of the other girls to see if there's anything that seems kind of suspicious. Because
Oh, you mean about the missing girls, right? About the missing girls, right? Because that's kind of what I was thinking of too.
Yeah.
Was to see if I could perhaps make friends with these girls to see what happened. Because I mean, I do think it is rather strange. It seems like a very nice place. I
Yes.
mean, very richy.
Also, if you can, find out more about what happened last night. Maybe from my
You mean like what happened to you and Dala with see if anybody has heard word about others getting jumped at night?
or somebody is talking about on
Alright.
what they did. Alcohol seems to loosen the lips a bit, from my.
I'm pretty sure some of the
understand.
guys would love to boast about their wonderful, adventures and
Yes.
jobs. Ugh.
and after, since it's late, I was going to buy more. After I buy more equipment tomorrow, I will be heading to the same bar where I was told. I mean, because those men in there have the same stock.
Are you sure that's a good idea? I mean, it sounded like they were trying to, kind of send you to your death last time.
I think it was more
Did
of
you
a
make them
message.
angry like you have been doing to people lately?
have to stick together. Remember, if you do go, one of us has to go with you. Well, from the party anyway.
I agree. And I don't think they were trying to kill him. I think they were just trying to send a message.
Yeah, teach you a message by getting you killed by beastmen. That's some message.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the beast, man. I'm talking about them beating me up the other night.
That too. They could have killed you.
Yeah, he was
seriously.
jumped for putting his nose where it was unwanted. So, as a warning to us, that was what I think he was jumped for. I don't think they were trying to kill him. I think they were just trying to get him to be afraid.
Oh, it didn't make me afraid.
You guys are getting ready. You guys are getting ready for dinner. What do you wear? Like, are you guys going out in your finery, like when you went to the Duke's castle, or? Layla, you do arrive, and you see laying on a table, kind of next to where Thalion is your fitted scale mail.
I hate. Okay, is it like nice? Is it nice and looking, or is it? I mean, shiny, appropriate, or does it look rugged-ish? Because I don't have any nice clothes, and if this is the nicest thing I have, I'm gonna wear it.
I mean, it's brand new scale mail, but you are wearing armor to it.
I think that we could find you a doublet and some hose or something to wear so you don't stand out in armor.
That would be great.
Layla, would you like a makeover before we go to dinner? That way you look, presentable.
I'm sure Dala. I'm sure Dala would probably geek out over it too. Like, oh my god, we're gonna dress her up and put makeup. Oh, it's such a dream.
Mark,
come
I
true.
prestidigitate my robes into the cleanest they've been in a week, and maybe put a nice little puff of cologne smell on my clothes, and then I'm dressed up.
They are shiny, pressed, and starched as if they just came from the dry cleaners, and you smell amazing.
Nice.
And what? After I get dressed and everything, I'm also gonna hide a dagger, like in my boot or in my on my thigh or something like that. Just hide it. So like, I'm not gonna go in this without insurance.
Okay.
Don't forget, bring a Lucky Charm, Valeria, so you don't trip on your feet this time.
Thalion, you're wearing the same dirty, mud-covered clothes that you were wearing in the cave that you never cleaned.
Yes, I would be happy to do you a favor, my friend.
We're alive. We're alive.
Since it was your voice that I heard calling me back from the darkness of death, I am very gracious, or very I'm very grateful for your sacrifice. What could I do for you, Thalion? Indeed, I can. The only problem is I cannot do it while you're wearing the outfit.
Really?
Shh. Yes, I cannot do it while you're wearing the outfit. Because I have to cast it only on an object, and while you're wearing it, you are a thing. You are a person, a creature. And I want to make sure that the object is the only thing affected and not you. I wouldn't want to claim you necessarily.
Give me an insight check.
Thank you. That's what I was hoping for.
I was waiting for Thalion to say something. Give me a deception check.
Okay, coming up.
When I was asking, I'm like, wait, really? Like, oh wow.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm
You're
not
not sure.
I'm not good at this right now because I'm very tired.
You're not sure, Thalion. You're not sure what he's trying to do, but he is laying the koi on thick. You're not sure if it's his tone or when he shushed Layla and gave her a really wide wink before looking back to you. But you know that he's fine.
Oh my. Stuff just got hot.
Oh, if we're gonna compare scars,
No,
No,
I
Layla,
can-
you
I
put your
can-
clothes on. I don't think Vala would appreciate that.
I can clean your clothes just fine while you're wearing them. Only remove.
I don't think Dala would appreciate you doing that anyways, Layla. Haven't you gotten yourself in enough trouble today?
Okay.
It's like
All
right, So I give Thalion a bit of a wink since it kind of gave him a chance to show off in front of the ladies. That was my intention, to get him to kind of bear chest and show off in front of the ladies. But I will clean his outfit and give it back to him. You're welcome.
You guys all get ready. You start to make your way through the lamp burrow, walking together quite closely. You do see that there are groups of people walking about, but as you pass, some recognize you, and they give you waves and hearty hellos. And you kind of give them a nod, and you keep moving. You make it into the more well-lit area of the Crystal Fair District, where you begin to make your way north, past the clothing shop, past the wooden spoon, until you reach the set of what look to be townhouses that the magistrate's directions and address take you to. And you see his home, well lit from the inside. You see that he has oil lamps burning along the outside. It is quite a nice home. You guys make your way up to the door. You knock, and upon your first knock, the door opens slowly.
On its hinges, slowly, like it wasn't latched.
Like it wasn't. Yeah, you knocked and it started to open on its own. But maybe only like an inch from the force of your...
Hello?
You look inside, all the hallways are very well lit. You're looking at polished wood side panelings on the walls, beautiful wood flooring, opulent carpets. The lanterns on the wall to shed light it's a very beautiful, very affluent home. But as you sort of call out and say hello, there is no answer. Although you can smell the food coming from the kitchen area.
Does it smell like it's burning?
No.
I will walk in first, cautiously, and go down the hall like, hello? Kind of be a little louder.
I cautiously walk down the hallway and yell, hello?
Oh,
That was awesome.
I'm on. You know how you've seen those horror movies where they're walking slowly and they're calling, hello, is anybody there?
You guys watch as the killer appears and Layla runs up the stairs.
Oh God.
So you walk down and you get a brief echo, just kind of through the hallways as you, hello, and no answer back. The smell of food eventually draws you down the hallway until you emerge into the dining room. And you see, sort of laid out on a spread, is a very nice meal. You see a whole roast turkey set in the middle of the table, a mishmash of sides. Everything looks delicious, but there doesn't seem to be anybody here. There's quite a few. They're not so much townhomes that are like side by side by side. It's more of just like a kind of like a neighborhood feel, but the homes are like 3 stories tall. And in that same sort of townhome build that you would see like on Full House or something, where it looks like there's not a lot of room in this area, but they put a lot of very nice homes and tried to fit as many as they can through these sort of winding, very nice cobbled streets along the side of town. Okay, give me a perception check.
Oh wait, I was gonna go look for the kitchen and see what everybody else does first.
You look around and you see that there are some people walking around, what seem to be couples walking hand in hand along the northern side of the Riverwalk. You hear the sounds of people sort of enjoying what nightlife is there in the city before everybody gets ready to wind down and go to bed here in the very nice part of town. But as for actually looking to see if somebody is sort of looking directly at you, you can't see anybody.
This doesn't feel right. Valeria takes a step inside, though. Scanning, I guess.
So you're looking at a landing as you open up the door, and there's a very 10-foot diameter circular landing. You can see where stairs on the right side, as soon as you enter, begin to take off up. There's a hallway that goes straight to the dining room, which is what Layla first headed down. And then you see that there's another hallway that cuts to the left. And as soon as you step in, you hear Garshadow begin to growl. And he is pointing and looking down the left side hallway. Layla, you make your way from the dining table, and then you go into the kitchen. You can see the pots that were used to clean, that still need to be cleaned, that were used for cooking, still in the stove. No, the hearth fire is still lit, though there's nothing cooking. There's stacks of plates, as if whoever was here did what they needed to do to cook dinner and are just no longer here.
I see if I noticed anything out of the ordinary. Yeah, everything looks fine, but something's itching at the back of my, head, right here. And do I notice anything out of place, or
is there anything specific that you're looking?
I want to say foul play. Pretty broad.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
God damn it.
You notice where it looks like some of the food scraps had fallen onto the floor. Thinking maybe that this could be a sign of a struggle, you kind of bend down and sort of look around the floor, but you see nothing. Can't really.
Okay. With that though, I will make way back out and.
Okay. While you just made it into the kitchen, it's about the same time that Garshadow begins growling, sort of down the hallway, and you see his shoulders kind of get low as he sort of starts to silently move his way closer to the hall.
Just to make this clear, I'm still in the kitchen while this is happening, correct?
Yes, you just now got to the kitchen and are doing your investigation in there as Garshadow, Thalion, and I assume the others are sort of following Thalion.
Okay, I am by myself again.
You're the one that went in by yourself, bro.
I don't no, it's fine. I'm
Thalion, you walk down. This hallway is not as lit as the other ones. There's some dim light, but you can still see pretty clearly with your dark vision. And you see where there is an open door about 15 feet down, and you sort of look inside and you see that it's a sitting room. I assume you kind of open it up and you look about. You see some very nice lounge chairs. You see some small bookshelves with a small line of books. You see where there are pipes set aside on the table, what seems to be a box of tobacco. And you see that Garshadow is still looking down the hallway at a nearly closed door with just a little bit of light shining through the open crack. What's everybody else doing as this is happening?
I have my light out, and I'm like, dang, I didn't wear my armor right now. Oh, God. But she's just kind of following, kind of close behind, just looking around to see if she sees anything.
Yeah, I will also be following behind Stallion.
Yeah.
And I would also have cast light on my arcane implement.
Okay. You guys make it towards the end of the hallway? Oh, what was that?
I'm keeping my eyes peeled, just kind of trying to figure out what Garshadow's growling at while staying close.
Okay.
Layla, get your butt over here! Something's happening!
You make it to the end of the hallway. And you can smell, it seems to be a wood fire coming from the other side. There's a nice, soft warmth accompanying the glow from inside this room. You sort of slowly open the door, and you look inside, and it seems to be a den. A very nice den as you sort of get your first peek. As you open the door, then you see something. A body. Hands bound, hanging from the ceiling. Do you keep opening? You open further and you see another body. Hands bound, hanging from the ceiling. You push the door open and there you see 5 bodies, hands bound, hanging from the ceiling, sitting in a chair, face staring at the ceiling, an unmoving form of Toman Trant.
Oh no, that's the guy that invited us to dinner.
I need everybody.
Family.
I need everybody to give me either a perception check or investigation check, depending on what you want to do. So think about what you want to do, make the check, and we'll go through this as quickly.
And I am not there, so I cannot make the check, correct?
At this time, you start to make your way back out of the kitchen into the dining room. And as you look down, you notice that your friends are no longer at the front door. You hear a, "Layla, get your ass over here!" whisper, but you can't pinpoint where exactly it is coming from through this house as it kind of echoes. Layla, give me a perception.
I would like to make an investigation check, Mark, to see if I can determine
The death.
clues left behind by who might have done the deed itself, like maybe one of those pins that were on the ruffians' coats, or maybe a torn piece of fabric or a glove or something like that. I'm looking for clues.
Okay. Layla, with your 21, you look down the hallway, and as you hear that whisper, you kind of draw yourself to the right, and you watch as you can see a thin line of soft, glowing firelight from underneath this door. What sounds to be a door opening, and the light growing brighter and brighter inside.
On the hallway that they are?
You reach forward, you open the door, and you see a side entrance into this den where you see the same thing. You lock eyes with Thalion as you enter the room, and you look about this sort of scene of absolute horror. As you're looking at 5 bodies, hands bound above their head, tied to the roof beams, while another body that you recognize as the man that came in earlier into the tavern.
Right. I was about to ask how they're hanging. Like, are they hanging like from by the neck?
No, so their wrists are bound together, and you see that the rope from the wrist continues up to the point to where their toes are barely scraping along the floor.
Can I see like if I'm seeing this from a different angle? So can I see like the front of the guy? Like can I see like if his throat is slit on the chair or whatnot?
You're
I
looking.
was
You're
just
looking.
gonna say, is there any blood?
You're looking. You're looking at his profile. So you're looking at him from the side. The group is getting a look at him from straight on. Zirak, you don't so much find like any sort of scraps of cloth. What immediately grabs your attention is what seems to be black fur, sort of scattered about. Is anybody else looking, or is it just Zirak that kind of went into sort of? Oh, Go ahead and roll, and then once you roll, tell me what you're looking for.
Oh, okay.
So Jarman's looking around for some sort of trap. He feels like we just sprung a trap or we're getting framed or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what
right?
Elise was like. We're getting
He-
framed.
He's getting the impression of the house where all the windows were sealed, and then he's also getting flashbacks of when he went into the apothecary and almost got arrested. So he's gonna have the flashbacks of that.
Elise is getting flashbacks to the cultists too.
You begin to look around, Drummond, and it's just the alarm bells going off in your head. You keep telling everybody, we're not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be here. You watch as Zirak sort of bends down, and he begins to pick up these
I think we
tufts
should leave.
of what seem to be black fur. Elise, Kira, Valyria, Sally, and you each take a look at each of the bodies. You see one that looks like it's been burnt. Burn marks covering the body. You see one that looks like it is covered in blunt force trauma bruises from some sort of blunt instrument hitting it over and over again. You see a couple bodies that are covered in what look to be like pinpoint needle incisions made possibly by a very thin sword. Another one of the bodies looks to have arrows and axe marks. And the body of Toman Trant looks as if it's covered in bite marks and slashes from a pretty large axe.
I don't know about anybody else, guys, but these bodies look like they were set up to frame something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Us arrow.
Yeah.
I point out on the body arrow points and axe wounds.
And bite
That's all
marks which match
The black.
could be matched up to points at Star Shadow and
Kira, with the 24, you start to hear a sound in the distance echoing from the window. It's very faint.
here you go.
The sound of a bell.
Alarm! Somebody's ringing the alarm.
yeah, I think we need to leave now
And that's where we're going to
before
leave
we
off.
get thrown back into jail. Something worse.
Okay, we're gonna leave it off there, but I want to say something because I was actually in this
Say
a
it.
similar party. I don't think we should leave. If we leave, it's gonna make us look like we're even more guilty.
If we don't leave and we get caught, we're gonna get locked up for something we didn't do. We have no proof. We just found it. They're not gonna believe us.
Wait, we do have proof. We received an invitation from this man. He came to us and delivered us an invitation to his house with his address for dinner.
We
We were here to murder him. We were here for dinner.
We have alibis. We should not leave, and that's where I'm gonna leave it at.
Do you
and we'll-
really
if
think
we-
they're gonna believe that we all just walked in and found them like that?
Yes.
Even if we have the invitation, we still can't prove that none of us in the room didn't do it.
Well, I don't have anything on me.
I don't
I
like
want a
this,
separate
but-
lawyer.
all
I want
right.
a separate lawyer from Layla's.
I do
am
not
not
know her.
associated with her.
I do not know this woman. Do they even have lawyers back here? I don't think so.
They do have a
Seven.
court system. As you guys are standing in the house of the magistrate of Rayburn, the magistrate being the lead judicial
Oh, no.
member of Rayburn. So he's the town magistrate. He's the guy that runs the court.
Again, we can pick it up again where that's up. I made my case to not leave, and I stick to that.
I just came back from the dead. I don't want to go to jail.
It's
I
not that
also
bad.
have plans for tomorrow.
Well, at least you get your rest, right? To
I guess
please-
that's true. I could just sit in jail for 3 days and be back to my self again.
we,
you guys have
all know how great those guards in the other town listened to us before instantly locking us up, and then the witch hunter showed up. How convenient.
So
I don't
you
know.
guys have all week to sort of hash out a plan, do what you want to do. You can just think of it as the time it's taking for the bells to get closer and closer. But something strange is afoot. Layla draws her thigh dagger and begins to murder everyone. I'm innocent.
If I seriously wanted to murder everybody, I would just wolf out and just go to town.
But yeah, plan it out. I'm kind of interested to see how this goes. And I need 374. And yeah,
Good
we'll just
for
go
you.
from there. Thank you,
All
guys.
right, sounds good. Have a good night, everybody.
See everybody next Tuesday.
All right. No, ta-ta.